It's round 3 of the World Cup. This is where things get very, very interesting. The first matchup, Twins versus Xenomorph. And we start with maybe the most interesting group purely in terms of points. Group A is the only group without a character with 6 points to their name. It also has no character with 0 points to their name. It is wide open, Group A. It is still anyone's for the taking. Very interesting. Twins has a tough matchup ahead of them here against Xenomorph, who is a constant competitor in this tournament. Has immediate intel here on Rekka's going to send out Victor. And as we always say with Twin games, it's all about what kind of Victor shows up here. As can't quite find the survivor who was there. That is a real shame. Aha! They're moving in. Looking to crush. They will, but they'll take the M1 for their trouble. And this is a huge opportunity here. How quickly can you get Victor back? Charlotte hiding the red stain through the window. By which I mean the doorway, and taking a hit. Great stuff there, great opening. Looking to avoid a torch save. Whoa. Damn. Just picking up quickly, hoping that the torch save wouldn't be available for the team. Indeed it was. Looking for a pounce here. Going back for the pallet is the right play. Damn. And what could have been for Twins there? That was looking like a fantastic start, but the pallet brought down. Is your controller broken? What's gone on? No, apparently not. Okay. They also have a torch. Heading right on back to Shaq as first gen pops. What a shame. What a shame this is. No pallet here? I was going to say, you've got to burn that now. Okay. It's 2 gens popped. Got to get Victor out there. Needs this dying state. It's that simple. Already invested way too much into this. Big opportunity here. Gets it. Okay, putting Victor here is going to be great for Charlotte because it will let her know if and when there's anyone looking for the save. And exactly that. Coup de grace to make the hit confirmed. And that should be no one else here. So that will be the first hook. Okay, good use of Victor there. Maybe should have thought about that. With the opening chase would have saved her a lot of heartbreak. No matter. This live is just hanging around. Doesn't burn the pallet. And this should be with coup de grace. Another dying state. Huge. Right, not going to make the same mistake again. Especially seeing as there is someone moving in for the save right now. But they'll move away. Okay. Can't actually get Victor out there because of the proximity to the hook, which is a damn shame. Can get Victor out there now. Gonna set Victor up right there. And go for the pickup. Can they get past Victor for this pallet stun? No, they can't. They take a dying state. Okay. So what was a tough opening for Charlotte with these saves? The team are now committing way too hard to all of this. They're crawling away from the pallet. Why do you do that? Because you're looking to enable decisive strike. And that is not something that Charlotte is interested in playing into today. As Victor comes back to the unhook. Lower right here. Endurance hit. Gets the kick. We'll probably get the recovery after that, but enough time will have passed now for Decisive's not too worried about such things. There's a pallet there. But they will not drop. They can't both get the window. Injury there. Looking to find Nia here. Instead finds Kate. Holding onto those coup de grace stacks as well. Those could be very important in the long run. Gonna get the kick out there for repression. See if there's any other gem movement. A team like this, you're probably hitting those suppression skill checks, aren't you? Just a 1 killer instinct right now. Fair enough. Hey, I mean, that's just unfortunate. Did the due diligence with Victor there. Unfortunately, Nia just out of range of killer instinct. It is what it is. Doing the little things right, but not quite being rewarded. Shame. Gonna be thinking about a way of keeping these gens under control as there's big movement in Killer Shack. Get a kick and I get more eruption out there. Time for Victor. And you're really looking for the 3 injured parties here, trying to bring the game back. By maybe getting a couple of people into the dying state. Is that gen still regressing? Good stuff there. There's a lot of movement here, and an injured party. Big opportunity. Nice. No dodge forthcoming. Set Victor up in the bus. Big intel all around here. Unfortunately, does lose that gen over there. Okay, so this should just be the one survivor right now. Hoping for no nasty surprises here. And it will be the 3rd hook. And it really could and should have been so much more. Setting up Charlotte here. Controlling Victor. Again, looking to keep some pressure on these gens. But also has to get Pop Goes Always Loud there if you can have any chance of keeping this game on side. So... kick there. So it looks like they're going up on the hill, and there's Lara too. Okay, that is shoulder the burden from Michaela. So an opportunity for a quick dying state here, courtesy of Exposed. As Nia's hanging around again. They've got DS, they want to use it. But you can still slug here. So they'll be in the locker. Charlotte gonna head back, come back. Looking for them to make a mistake, they're not going to. Okay, that's a shame. They really want Decisive Strike out there. It's just not a play that Charlotte can go into here. As Kudra makes that a confirmed hit. Another injury there. And just not quite able to close down a chase with Michaela. What a shame. There is someone in here. And that does get Eruption. So that does buy time for... what you were thinking was the hook, but obviously it was Nia Carlson. They've got DS, so off they go. It's a damn shame using that very aggressively, which, you know, is what they can do with that perk. The good news for Charlotte is that they're only focusing on this gen right now. So as long as you can keep them here and keep this gen stalled out, you're having a decent time of it. You've got 4 coup de grace stacks. As that is a vault. Big opportunity. They just have to speed to get away there. What a shame. Lara's gone as well. You've got to be thinking about this gen moving, because this has also been the pressure point for the Twins pretty much all game long. Indeed, that was exactly where Kate was heading. Big opportunity here. And that presumptive Eruption hit, no, wasn't quite able to get Eruption out on this gen. But comes back. Gets the kick. Gets suppression out there. Having Victor over there as well is great. Gives Charlotte intel as to who is moving to that gen and in what numbers they're moving to that gen. I did the red stain. Not quite for long enough. Got to get another kick out there. Just wasting all of these regression events, though, is the thing. No recovery yet. Just going to check on the area with Victor. Getting him a little bit closer. It's an early dead hard. It's a very early dead hard. They get the other gen entirely. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. What can you do about such a thing? However, at least Charlotte does have a basement hook here for the end game. And how quickly can you go over to Victor? Victor's been crashed. Okay, Victor's out of there. Fetch marks around Shack. There's Michaela, an injured party. That's Nia Carlson over there as well. Still got this pallet. Not going to burn it. Coup de grace in play here. Not quite. Remind me to check for hope on Michaela there, because they're incredibly fast. And it's been a tough, tough situation. Endurance there, the only hit you can take. And it might be all over here. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Lara Croft sticking around Shack. Great, great hit from Victor. How much is Nia going to do here to try and save their friend? Because if you're Twins, you really want to be getting more than 5 hooks when you're going up against Xenomorph. And you might be getting more than 5 hooks here if Nia misplays their hand. I mean, if it's a decision between hooking one or the other, you're going to take Nia Carlson every day of the week because they have 2 further hook states to give with that shoulder the bird on play. Huge play. Huge play there. They're on the clock. The endgame timer in effect. Going to just try and take the hook before they have time to set themselves up for the save. Looking to get as far to the corner as possible. So this at least, maybe even worst case scenario, they don't save Nia, so Twins ends up with 6 hooks. 6 hooks is achievable. Well, not achievable. 6 hooks is viable. There's a blind. Quick blind there. Going back to the hook. As they get the unhook immediately is really, really tough. You need... Yeah, going after Michaela, probably the better shout here. Maybe even kicking that pallet was the wrong call. As Victor needs to get the hit as soon as possible. And if you're Twins now, maybe you can just keep Michaela on this tile. Yeah, and they're not going to be doing any of that. And that might be all she wrote here. I think there's too much distance, and this is not something the Twins and Charlotte can catch up with. GG, so that'd be 5 hooks. Not the start they were hoping for, and it all comes back to that early torch save. As Lara is doing something a little bit silly and a little bit risky here. So maybe there could still be something here. And I'm reminded they could have left. They really could have. But now, they're in a lot of trouble. They're moving further into the map. Kate has to come and help them now. They're going to head to the other corner. Timer ticking down. Nia Coulson's here as well. And this could be just a tremendous throw from the team if they're not able to get out after all of this. On the pallet, drops it. A vault. Maybe you can't leave immediately if Victor's on your head. Might not be able to leave at all. Now. Body block there. It'll just be Nia. Okay. So, make that a 6 hook game for Twins. Interesting. They weren't done in the end game. They wanted to rub salt into the wound, and they've denied themselves an opportunity here before. Fair enough. 6 hook for Twins. Trickster's Delusion for Xenomorph. Okay, immediately into those tunnels. 6 hooks the target. 7 hooks for the victory, which they will definitely be looking for, and should be very achievable with the target set by the Twins there. A little bit of confusion in emerging from the command station, from the tunnel. Gets out there eventually, and sees David. Good tail attack. No delay there, just going about her business. Gets the first injury. Dave gets to the vault. Bit of a tough area this for a lot of killers. Maybe not as much for Xenomorph. Oh, good play from Dave. And can't get the vault here. That had to be a hit every day of the week. I think expected the tail attack to come out a bit faster than it did mechanically. Something just seemed off there. So what should have been the opening hook is now anything but, and she's got to go elsewhere. What a shame. What a shame. Really needed to close that down there. Right, listening for gem movement, looking for the next opportunity. Just going to guess it down the nightclub. There is a flame turret. Oh, and she misses. This is already a very concerning performance from Xenomorph here. Not the calm, clinical, kind of considered performances we've become accustomed to in the past. This is something much, much different. Does finally, with a couple of M1s, get a hook there, but maybe there is hope in the Twins camp where previously there was not. Okay. Opening hook. Not quite able past. As there is someone in the locker and out of the locker. Okay, interesting play from Dave. Tail attack is back at a really opportune time. Oh. As there he goes. Okay, round 2 with David King. Among the shops where David did so well previously. Doesn't really anticipate the move that Xenomorph makes there. Playing it a little bit safe for Xenomorph, looking for the M1, gets it. It's a quick unhook, a gen pops, that'll be the second. Torch there. Shouldn't be any sabotage. They're going to go for the blind. They're not going to get that. 2 hooks in play for Xenomorph. Again, needs to keep on top of these gens. Needs to use the kick build to her benefit here, because has not found many opportunities to get popular with Zuizel out there so far. Nightclub was moving, is regressing. There's a little bit of movement out here. Just a little bit. Probably not even worth the kick. Gonna go for Alien Instinct here. Ultimate Weapon, apologies. Seeing if there's anyone hanging around here. There is not. Just finding it difficult to establish intel on this team. Finding it difficult to consistently pressure gens and take chases. Finds Dave again. Which is fine, but maybe not ideal here. You have half an eye on No Way Out. You want to be gaining stacks for the end game, especially with a very makeable total like 6 hooks. No Way Out on its own could send Xenomorph through with 3 points. There's just a litany of flame turrets there, and 3 survivors. Okay, intel gained, intel established. Looking for the M1, doesn't get it. Oh, the flame turret right there. That's a shame. That's a shame. Okay, it might be time to get back into the tunnel, get the tail attack back, and try and wrest some control back of this game, because things are looking pretty grim. This is not actually where she wanted to be, but she's not far from the gen. But there you go. A mistaken teleport and the gen pops. Every little thing is being punished to the fullest extent here for Xenomorph. You just get the feeling that even to a greater degree than previous tournaments, there's just no margin for error for these killers. And there's something very weird about the tail attack and about that room specifically. Another missed opportunity there. No one to blame but herself, keeping on this chase. Sable takes a good line to get to the other window. And it's looking grim. It's looking very, very grim indeed. There is 1 gen left. Xenomorph has 2 hooks currently. This is really tough. And the window there. Table May made a bit of a mistake. No, there's plenty of distance here, so maybe not worried at all. And you get the feeling that Xenomorph really does just need a hook now, so even though this is a fair bit of overcommitment, it may be worth it at the very least. At the very least, it will be the 3rd stack of No Way Out. Right. As looks like V is trying to get this gen. Good opportunity. Pop goes Weasel, finally getting some value out of that perk. It is likely not the only gen. There has been pressure around the nightclub all game long. You wouldn't be surprised if either of these had a fair bit of progress. 2, there's some movement there, not a lot. This gen is moving. And there's James Sunderland. Okay. Great opportunity for the chase here. This will give Xenomorph the 4th No Way Out stack, assuming she's able to close down this chase, which is a big assumption to make with how the game has been so far. M1 there. And big intel on everyone else. Now, here's the question. Do you commit to this chase, or do you actually go to the gen? She's choosing to go to the gen. Does she have enough time for this? It's going to be really close. This could be a heartbreaking situation where the gen just pops. As she emerges. No, okay. Big opportunity. Big opportunity here. Tail attack for the injury. Looking to avoid a flame turret. Charging up tail attack again. And there's another one. There's another one. If that doesn't just sum up how this game has been for Xenomorph. At the very least, there's not as much movement as she maybe anticipated. And looking to get back to the nightclub gen here. So our footsteps between the two. Big movement here. Sable and James. And one there. Someone's right back on the gen to the left. It's just not a gen that you can keep on side for any length of time. My god, they are not running out of flame turrets anytime soon, are they? As there's V and Sable, big opportunity here. Massive, massive opportunity for Xenomorph. Sable's really out of position. Tail attack connects. Pivoting. Looking to get a couple of hooks for the end game. But V already has so much distance here, it might not be doable. The pre-drop of the powers there. She's not going to do anything. Gem pops, and James is just able to tap the gate in spite of Alien being there. That's a damn shame. Injury on James. So she has 3 hooks currently, Xenomorph. You don't want to slug too much here. You don't want to risk losing out on all of your remaining hooks. As Sable gets recovered. James on the hook. There's still plenty of opportunities for more hooks out there for her. So that'll be number 4. The thing is here. The thing is right here. If you can secure the kill on James, you win. It's that simple. That'll be 7 hook states for Xenomorph, and I think that's what they're going to do. It's a very conservative way to play, but with how the game has gone so far, you might get the feeling this is their only opportunity. Now, the team are not going to give this up without a fight, to be clear. Could there be any ultimate weapon here for them? David nearby. Not going to be making any kind of earnest play for it right yet. They'll be waiting to establish the 3 here for the pincer maneuvers and the save. As there is presumably a pebble. In fact, that was Dave's pebble. That's exactly what we saw there. Is anyone else moving in for this save? Is it just Dave right now? I mean, strap yourselves in. This is going to be a long wait. As the gates open, are they going to start leaving? If you're the twins, you really need the team to be making the save. As it stands, gonna get the 5th stage out there. Need dying state on Dave. Gets it. James, an endurance hit here. Oh, Sable as well. Okay. Finding Sable is so massive there. Is V here for a torch save? That could break the hearts of the Xenomorph. No. Do you know what? In fact... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I was just about to say, in fact, the maths is all off there. Securing that kill would only mean a draw. But if you can close down the chase now with V and secure this kill, that would be the win. But it is trepidatious here. Currently, Xenomorph loses 5 hooks to 6. But V has such a great distance to go to get to that gate. And you know what you're doing if you're Xenomorph here. Time is not on V's side, and they are very out of position. There's so many paths they can take here. Dave can take a hit. Dave can ruin the dreams and aspirations of Xenomorph with one body block. He's going for the heal. They need to take a hit soon. Oh my god, it's one of the most clutch M2s I've ever... No, it's Conviction! It's not Soul Guard, though. It's not over. Dave looking for Hill Tech. Not going to get it. Needs to find a hook here. And Dave sticking around. Oh. We'll be looking for the unhook. Where is he? There he is. He's out of there. And Xenomorph has got the win. 7 hooks to 6. That is unbelievable. What an M2 at the death there. almost grasped away. They're the one gamer not running Soul Guard with conviction. 6-7, the scoreline. Twins had an incredibly tough go of it, but it almost looked like it could have been enough there. But Xenomorph with some clutch theatrics and heroics in the endgame, securing the 7 hooks. Xenomorph goes top for now. Goes top of Group A. Twins suffers their second loss, and if you're a Twins fan now, not mathematically eliminated, but in a really tough situation, and then they now need to get wins against Skull Merchant and against Houndmaster to really have a chance. Okay, coming up, it will be Plague versus Skull Merchant. Plague on Ormond Lake Mine here, facing off against Skull Merchant, and Group A continues to be wide open. Xenomorph has taken a leap forward there with the 7 points to go top of the group, but no one's out of it yet. There's the injury. Oh. With good reactions, they could have actually denied the hit there, but thankfully for Plague, no such play, and going to be looking for a pain res here. And we'll find it. 2 people infected. There's only 1 gen the Plague actually has been able to infect, and it's this one down here, so should have intel on where Trevor and Leon are, and indeed Leon rushing off to Shaq here. Sheva could be here as well, actually. Maybe, not sure. Certainly Leon is. Not sure where Sheva went if not here. Intriguing. Sheva fully infected. Leon not quite there yet, but should be soon. Yep. It's Leon Volt. Yes! Good mind game from Plague. Alright. And second hook, and still no gens have popped. That's very, very good for her. Getting Painrez out there could be good. Have to imagine that there was going to be some movement on main gen. Perhaps it was Vittorio who screamed from Infectious Fright earlier. Plague's certainly going to head that way. And yep, there is gen movement. There's Vittorio. Doesn't quite get infected in spite of the animation. Doesn't there either, that's a shame. Again, animation, but no infection. And finally, the game sees fit to hand Plague an infection on Vittorio. Okay. Big opportunity here. Injury on Vittorio. And that's clean as you like. Into the hit. Dying state there. Everyone injured. Thanatophobia popping off. And an opportunity for a third payment stack before a single gen is popped. This is looking dominant from Plague in the early running here. Very, very, very good stuff. Now, can she find any of the survivors here and look to begin to close this thing down? There is gen movement here. Someone rushing off to the right-hand side. Keeps on moving. Might be able to meet them at this doorway. Exactly that. Huge play from Plague. And unless there's a pallet right here, and there won't be, that's another dying state and big value from Infectious Fright. That is sensational. Hook here and away she goes. Continuing to keep that infected. Didn't need to on that occasion. Yeah, it's like all the gens have taken a real hit on the infection here, despite Plague not doing that much to get them infected. Everything falling into place for her right now. Just hearing injury noises, but not able to actually ascertain where they were. So, coming back over here. And this team are not cleansing at all. They've got to think about doing so soon. Otherwise, Plague is basically going to win this thing by default, it looks like. Says Leon. In the corridor. Good line from Plague. That'll close things down nicely. Oh, just gets caught on the corpse. On the corpse, on the box, on the tarpaulin. Oh, but again, a very decent line game here, and these survivors have not yet found a way of countering it. First gen pops. A blessed situation to have 5 gens. You can't hold on to it forever. But if you offered Plague a 5-hook situation with 1 gen having been completed, she would have bit your hand off, let me tell you. It's been fantastic for her so far. As Michaela runs past the pallet, and this could be 3 survivors if Michaela can't find a way of evading the M1, and it doesn't seem likely that she will. No dead hard on offer. Dying state there. Can't be DS, it's been way too long. And then there were 3. 6 hooks already. And compare this to the 2 games we saw previously today, where 6 hooks was fought for, scraped for, and only barely achieved. Plague has done it in the blink of an eye. And still, no curing of the sickness here. This is outrageous from the team, especially considering it's Thanatophobia. You'd expect them to be lining up to cure. And fair enough, Plague is not getting any corrupt purge, but right now she doesn't need it. That should be the pallet drop. No, they're going to go for the window, and they will make it. Fair play to them. Get caught on the wall again there. Not the cleanest of lines from Plague. They should burn the pallet here unless they make a huge mistake. Whoa! They just do not want to burn anything. Window will be gone with 1 more vault. Bloodlust in play as well. Surely this is where you've dropped the pallet if you're Sheva. You're going to go window again? They can't vault back. It is Bloodlust. I don't think they make this. It could be dead hard. Nope, they get to it. Hey, listen, do you know what? Talk about juicing every last bit of value out of a tile. Sheva's done it there. Very impressive. And the gen pops. Maybe this game isn't over. There'll be another pallet gone here. Sheva stays on Shack. It's the best loop that the team's put up by far, and I think you're seeing maybe who the strong link of the team is here. They do vault, however. A decent mind game from Plague, and that might be all over for Sheva. Will be. And this is the final pain res stack, and it is happening at a timely occasion when maybe the pressure on the gen's starting to ratchet up. That will maybe help slow things down just a little bit. Is it time for Corrupt Purge? It could be. It could be here for Plague. Going after the healthy survivor, Leon. Going to get the kick out there. Following the scratch marks and hopefully finding him. He's walking. Has he walked downstairs? He hasn't. What a shame. What a shame. Just missing out on Leon there, which could have been a really fine chase to take with the Death Hook survivor. Damn. Has Vittorio taken the opportunity to get the unhook? Needs to do so soon, otherwise Plague will be right there, and the best you're hoping for is a trade. It's actually Vittorio commits to the gen. Then starts moving in. Plague will be there. Where did Leon go? And is Leon going to be interested in the save here? It's balanced. Good play from Vittorio, probably a pre-drop. No! Fascinating. Great play from Plague. It's not as safe of a pallet as you would imagine because of exactly what we're seeing there. There's a lot of paths that the killer can take to close the gap, and that's exactly what Plague was able to do. But, hey! This was looking dominant. Now, maybe not quite as much. There's another bit of curing there from Leon. Great intel. Telling Plague that he's around Shack, because there were big injury noises there, but not quite able to locate Sheva, and it's time for Corrupt Purge. She's pressing the button. She's looking to close this thing down right here, right now, with a fair bit of gem progress out there. Sheva up ahead. Is it time for an alley-oop? Good effort. Dropping down. This is going to be tough now for Sheva. This is going to be really tough for Sheva. They'll be looking for the pallet stun. Doesn't look like they'll be able to make it happen. No. Could be DS. No, okay. DS would have been really, really tough there with how good they've been in loops. Thankfully for Plague, not the case. That'll take it to 9 hooks. Everyone death hook now. Any dying state will be rewarded with that survivor leaving the trial. How much gem movement is there here? There's a little bit. Away goes Leon. Prop Purge. It would be nice to sneak an injury out there. But won't be able to. Loses it. Right, well, Leon has not been doing a great job with the loops so far this trial, but the hallmark of this game has been the survivors suddenly remembering how to play. So maybe Leon can do something similar here. Oh, looking to body block the window. Kind of a janky looking animation there. Leon does get it. That isn't the injury. It really felt like it could have been. Now it is. Now it is. Window's gone. Pallet's gone. All you can do if you're Leon is try and move Plague away from Shaq to a different tile. And he tries, but he's just waited a bit too long. Loses the distance. Is there time for the pallet stun? No. Not even on offer. So, 2 survivors left and intel on one of them. And that will be closed down quick as you like. That's a return to the form of the early game there, because everything was just taking a bit too long, but that situation dealt with handily. And then there was one. And then there was Sheva, who's been the standout participant here by far. But Plague situated well for the hatch. Shutting the door on that notion. Oh, they cure, but where? Plague not quite able to ascertain where they cured. Could have been downstairs, actually. Does she remember that? Does she remember that fountain being active? Maybe not. Oof. Okay. Such a shame. Could have been some great intel if she'd been a little bit more cognizant of where the fountains were. Gets one of them infected, heading to the other one. And that'll be it. Sheva's pulled an absolute blinder there. Gets the gate open. And Plague not able to shut the door on Sheva. So, 1 hook state goes begging. It'll be 11 for Plague. Interesting. We'll see how damaging that will be. Pizzeria for Skull Merchant. A fine performance from Plague, but there is a win condition here. 4k, and Skull Merchant gets a very, very important 3 points. That would give her such a boost mathematically regarding her chances to make it through to the playoffs. Drone there. That gets Leon to leave the scene. That should allow the M1 for Skull Merchant here. It will. Just. It keeps on moving. Okay, big opportunity here. As the scratch marks have suddenly stopped, did someone get a boon in play? What? Quick and quiet into a locker. Okay, fascinating. Fascinating situation. Very surprising. Very confusing. A thing that comes to mind is possibly cross-examination. That has been changed to not activate in chase. Did Leon maybe technically leave chase there to allow that to be in effect? Who can say? At the very least, it's an injury, a free hit for V. And it's another just sudden removal of the scratch marks and bloodstains. Very odd. Very, very odd stuff going on here. Regardless, Skull Merchant shakes off the confusion, rallies, gets a hook, but does lose a gen. Looking for some undetectability here. As there is a lot of movement over there, and the gen completes. And, okay, scratch marks this time, heading to Shaq. Gonna get the drone out on the corner of Shack. As Kate gets the vaults there. Does get hit by the drone. Changing up the pathway of the drone to try and connect again. But Kate has left the situation entirely. And there she is. Is the unhook off to the right? No pallet drop. That'll be the injury. And another gem pops. Deary me. And it is night and day, the starts that these two killers have had. Plague, pure dominance. Skull Merchant already seeing 3 gens pop before she's able to really have done anything. Second hook. Taking the drone, getting that unstectability again. Heading into the building, looking to catch someone by surprise. We'll just lose unstectability unless you can regain it. There it is. And could there be a play to be made? Well, unstectability certainly stops them pre-running. And that does directly lead to an injury. Can she make a massive mind game work here with the unstectability, looking to meet Elodie around the corner? And kind of does so. I mean, wise from Elodie to keep on running all the way to Shack. They're taking the direct mind game out of the equation. Oh, but big play there. Okay. Remember as well, she does have no ed for the end game. She will probably need it with how this has been going. Third hook in play, but already gem movement off over in the other corner. If you're thinking about 3 gens, forget about it. There's no real opportunity for a good endgame 3 gen here. Just needs to really lock in, get a couple of quick hooks and put the team on the back foot, because Skull Merchant has lived on the back foot all game long. Looking for the M1 here, under the pallet. Gets it! No pallet burn from Kate there, wise. But a big opportunity now. Have a drone out there. As it will be a double window loop. It just holds up. Big opportunity here with the mind game. It works. Medium volt isn't going to be enough. And there is another dying state. So there will be a period of time, however brief, in which 2 people are in the dying state and on the hook. But there you go, the basement unhook there. Now, how are these gens looking? Not a lot of movement there. There was some movement in that tile, but maybe the more concerning thing right now is the gen in the pizzeria, which does need to be kicked. But as long as this gen isn't moving too much, maybe Skull Merchant has something to build upon here, and there's no movement at all on that gen. That's great news. Looking for unstectability, looking to catch someone off guard again. Not really going to catch him off guard. I mean, it's not a great map for the unstectability plays. Never mind, hang on. Elodie has made a mistake there. Must have actually been caught unawares by that play. Takes the injury. A little bit of a fake out on the window. Might not be able to get back to the window, you know. And then not able to get the pallet either. Crawling away from the pallet really implies decisive strike, doesn't it? You're willing the killer to get the hook as quickly as possible. Skull Merchant, good awareness there. Now, it could be a massive misdirect. That could be the biggest double bluff of the time. But for now, Skull Merchant going to stick to her game plan. Keep these gens progressing. Not been able to use Thwack at all. Not an amazing map for Thwack. No doors to kick here. So if they're not throwing pallets, you're not getting Thwack. Middle gen goes. Enough time should have elapsed now for DS to pass. Nice. No one there for the pallet stunt either. 5th hook. And I think if you're Skull Merchant here, you probably are not going to keep that final gen. What you're hoping for is to have as good of a situation as possible so that Noed can then bring it home in the end game. There's something going on here. Now, has there been a boon established? There were no scratch marks whatsoever right there. It could be a lot of things that could still be poised, for instance. Oh, it's a big, big mind game there. Wow. Talk about an unforced error. That never should have happened. And now, Skull Merchant might have a huge chance. The issue is, I mean, you talk about wasted perks. Surge has done nothing this game, and it will do nothing all game because there goes the last gen. It is still Noed. There are still opportunities. As there's Kate Denson. And there's the haste. And there's the exposed hit. And that will immediately be a survivor out of there, but there's still so much to do and so little margin for error here. The gates are very far apart as well, which is not what Skull Merchant would have wanted to see. It might still be all over here. They'd have to make a series of errors, and they're not going to. Gates open. And just never quite got a foothold in this game. The gen's moving too quickly. The gen regression did nothing. May as well have been running no gen regression at all. So that will be GG. How many hooks is it? 7. Not enough, and that is a real dent in the hopes of the Skull Merchant team. Plague now in a very strong position. Look at this. 3 games, 2 wins and a draw, a total of 35 hooks, and she is in the ascendancy here as Skull Merchant. Another loss. Only 7 hooks to her name, and she is right there with Twins in a very, very tough spot. Houndmaster versus Blight. And this is a fascinating matchup. They're both on 3 points here. And you feel like either one of them has to get the 3 points to keep the pace with Plague and with Xenomorph, who currently are running away with Group A. So, first up, Houndmaster. Gas Heaven, Houndmaster. This is a battle between 2 killers, Houndmaster and Blight, who both have 3 points to their name. With Xenomorph beginning to run away with the group, the 3 points here is going to be very, very, very important, as there is Tori Kane, and there's the M1. Hiding in plain sight there was Tori, maybe hoping the green jumper would camouflage them in amongst the greenish, grassy hues of Gas Heaven. No such luck. Looking for a snug here. Connects. They drop the pallet. It's well played from Tori, to be honest with you. They'll go for the window. They'll get it. Pallet here, which they will drop, and that will be... Whoa! Okay. No big issue there. Gets the hit immediately, but my god, how did they not connect there? That was astonishing. Okay, looking for pain res. Good time for pain res here. You imagine there will be a gem with some progress to it, and it will be that one over there. Seen with Jagged Compass. Needs to get snug over there as soon as possible. She does. And here she goes. Okay. As it's Chris Redfield, who looks like he is committing to the gen. Oh, but not able to finish it. That's huge. That's huge for Houndmaster, being able to put a stop to that gen. Getting the chase out there with Snug as Chris moves away. Big opportunity here for Snug. And... oh, not able to get the hit again there. Big movement on this gen. So, 2 gens moving at pace, 2 gens regressing, as Chris keeps on going. I have to imagine there'll be a survivor sticking around here. You'd love to get some Killer Instinct, some intels. There is Yui at Sprint Burst there. That whiff much more understandable. That was simply Sprint Burst. As Yui gets away. And Snug just here for the chase. Wow, okay. A very surprising injury there. A Snug looking to connect. Does, and that'll be a dying state. Oh dear. As Houndmaster loses a gen, and it doesn't look like it might not be either of the gens that she had kicked, which is maybe a bit concerning. Not entirely sure. Certainly need to be getting a pain res hook in this situation. Maybe time to get that pallet out of there as well. Okay, no surprises, it's Shaq Gen that has all of the progress. No, it isn't. It's the one by Shaq Gen. Very concerning yet again.
Look, you're the best.
Okay, this will be Tori again. Running off. Shaq could still be moving here. Oh, she just finds a way of denying Snug. Snug does connect. Getting the early M1 in case the pallet was on that side. Shaq Gen has gone. Again, no surprises called out that could be the case. So Snug looking for the connection here. Oh. gotta be finding a way of connecting with those chases, and Tori Kane continues the loop, and they're back in the gas station where they wanted to be. Snug again. Does well there. Leads Tori. Very important surge hit on a gen that has consistently been a pressure point up ahead. The closest hook will do. There'll be no pain res here. Okay. And if you are looking for a way of bringing this game back, you might think about a way of getting Tori Kane out of there in the near future, perhaps. So there goes Sable. Possibly another sprint burst for Sable there. Snug. Oh, but Sable takes a wide line. That'll force him to burn Shack Pallet. Coming back now. That was actually Repressed Alliance there from Sable. Maybe anticipating that Houndmaster will be looking to kick that gen. And honestly, she probably would have. So decent play there from Sable, as it's now Chris. Oh, Tori's here as well. And we were saying about how this could be the way of bringing this back for Houndmaster. M1 on Tori Kane. If you can make this a 3-survivor game, and she's given up. Is that because there's someone here for the save? Certainly worth testing the waters. No killer instinct that she can see. Could it be DS? It isn't. She's just given up. And that provides a great deal of hope to Houndmaster here. 3-survivor game, 3 gens left. But loses that gen. No surprises, that gen has been a pressure point all game long, taking a lot of pain res, hits. Obviously that Repressed Alliance play, as there goes Sable. Using the chase to keep up with them, pivoting around the boulder. The hill. There she is. Looking for the chase from Snug. Oh, okay. Not as bad as it could have been. Snug got weirdly confused by the window, didn't go through it, but didn't go past it. In the end, that was enough to scare off Sable. Oh, great play from Sable there. Countering Snug magnificently, and she keeps on moving. And another gen pops. Snug not finding a way of getting the hit in these marginal situations. As Yui's in the vicinity, might be looking for a save. Might be looking for a protection hit. Not going to get either. Is she still here? She's still here. Drops a pallet. Injury there. Okay, going to come back for the hook. That's an important hit for Houndmaster that might allow him to keep control of the presumptive endgame that's on the way here. Now, where did Yui go? Because if Houndmaster can find Yui... Oh, that could be huge. It's not Yui, it's Chris. That's also fine. That's also fine. Get Chris off the gens. Stop Chris from going for the save. Force the injured party to do so. This could actually play into Houndmaster's hands very nicely. As Snug does get the connection there. Chris couldn't dodge a tree in the way. Brings that down immediately. It's a kind of pallet throw you make when you're just concerned about buying time. You've got to be ready for the other 2 survivors to get on the gen very, very swiftly. Going to send out Snug for the search here. This game's been remarkable in that Houndmaster... Oh my god, what a swing! Never mind. Enough of that. What a play using the lengthy lunge that you get from Houndsense to make an incredible play under the pallet. And Chris just gives up a pain res hook there. And that could be massive. Gotta get back on this gen.
Fine.
Yeah, it's been a remarkable game for Houndmaster in that she's used her chase a lot more than we would usually expect. Usually very, very, very search focused, but using the chase to great ends here. Obviously the game hangs in the balance. She's not won it yet, far from it. There's the unhook. In this situation, you wouldn't be surprised if he did go maybe past Shack to heal in the corner. There are scratch marks here. Scratch marks keep on going.
Fine, you're right.
Can she find anyone? There's one heal. And there's Chris, okay. Getting the chase out there again. Just finds a pallet. Crew drops it. Snug connects. That will be an injury.
Look at you. Extra ball.
Could be an opportunity for a search to close this down now.
Fine.
All good stuff. Very good stuff. And firing dead hard. That will be another hook. So, Houndmaster just clawing back hook after hook after hook, making it a more and more competitive total with each dying state. That'll be her 7th. And 7 has been enough in the past. She'll be looking for more. There's plenty of time for more hooks. 7's not a bad total. But has intel on the furthest gen. That's the Jagged Compass gen right there, as Sable again uses Suppressed Alliance. Decent play. But that does mean that no one can get on that gen for the foreseeable. That's to Shack. There's the unhook. There's an opportunity for Snug here. Okay. Sable keeps on moving. Injured party, by the way, Sable. Remember that. Gets the vault. Looking for something, but not finding it. Maybe thinking the pallet was still up. Chris pre-dropped that just a few minutes ago. So, another hook. Sable on the hook here. Back to the Jagged Compass gen. That perk now allowing Houndmaster to keep a watchful eye over the gens and maybe keep herself in with a chance of the 4K. This is being really well played by her. And that's great intel. Jagged Compass showing that that's the furthest along gen. It has maybe 30%, 40% progress. Great news for her overall game. There's the unhook. There's actually a fair bit of progress here that you didn't anticipate if you're Houndmaster. Certainly need to get that progressing. And did have intel on where Sable went. Sable's somewhere over here. There's a bit of movement here as well. Scratch marks. Doubling back. There's Sable. Chris looking to take a hit. And will. Okay. Anything goes here for Houndmaster, really. Both death hook, both injured now. As Snug doesn't quite connect with Chris, and what an important connection that would have been. As Yuri might now be moving the gen behind as well. What do you prefer if you're Houndmaster here? Pre-drop again from Chris. He knows the MO. He knows what he needs to do. Buy as much time as possible. Drop everything in service of that. As he has somehow gotten away. Okay, Houndmaster has to come back. As there's commitment here. Oh, but they're not able to finish the gen. Injury there. Sable was around. Has been forced away. Oh, Blast Mine. Are they going to get the gen under Houndmaster's nose? No. That could have been disastrous for Houndmaster there. Just going to send Snug alone to the gen. Check there's no one on it. No killer instinct that Houndmaster can hear. As they go window, go pallet. It'll be a hook. But just not finding a way of getting that 2 survivor situation. As Jagged Compass still leads Houndmaster back to this gen. This really does seem like the pressure point now. Finding a way to get the search path back there. Finding a way of having that quick patrol. The gen is still aggressing. That's great news. No killer instinct. Okay. Pivoting back. There's also concern about this gen over here. Oh, it's still regressing. There's barely any movement to it. Okay, so as long as this gen is stationary, Houndmaster can maybe begin to rest easy. And there's movement. Not a lot. Enough to kick. Enough to warrant the kick for sure. Coming back to this one. There is the unhook. Maybe send Snug on an exploratory mission. As this would have to be Sable, right? Sable moving the gen. And they're on the periphery. God, what you wouldn't give to have Snug here. There is Snug. There is Snug. They're going comp corner. And they're hoping that'll be enough to buy time for that final gen. Will it? Remains to be seen. Has to be said they are annoyingly distant from any hooks. You've got to be wiggling in this situation as well, surely. Well, no matter. Maybe they've just given up. 2 survivor situations. Still gem regression there. This really is the only concerning gem right now. And it is moving. It is moving, so this is one they were trying to commit to. Injured party. How do you play this if you're Houndmaster? You probably got to find a way. This is actually Chris who went this way, and then Yuri pivoted the other way, walking and trying to get sprint burst back, you'd imagine. Here are the bloodstains. There they are. Massive opportunity here. Snug. Not quite able to get the hit. However, a mind game here could be massive. They drop the pallet. Oh, great play from Yuri. And with each passing second, higher the likelihood that Chris is able to get that final gen. But a brilliant connection with Snug. Dying state there. An important surge as well that just delays that even more. There's every chance that Chris has got to a different gen in the time that this has happened. But you've also now got to be thinking about Hatch. Hatch will spawn in Shack. Houndmaster should easily be able to get there. Jagged comes to be very informative. Okay. This is the first long gen. That means that Chris is not on a different one. It could mean that he's waiting for Hatch, but Houndmaster should be able to deny. Yes. So, it's a gate situation, and we've seen so many times in this tournament how important denying gate has been. Has Snug actually been sent to the gate there? Yes, okay, and no killer instinct. That's good news, that's good news. These are horrible, horrible gates for Houndmaster. Because of Snug, she has a chance, but any other killer, with a few exceptions, would not be able to control a gate situation like this, as there's no killer instinct again. Maybe time to pivot up the searches, maybe getting Snug back and sending Snug to this gate now. Oh my god, there you go. There goes Snug. Houndmaster gonna stay here. Because you still need visual intel on the gate, right? You can't just let Snug do all the work. You need to check that they've not got 1 or 2 lights there. Okay, no killer instinct on that gate. And the rotation, again, gonna send Snug to this gate meanwhile. Checking the other gate. This is pretty solid for Houndmaster. Will it be enough? Will it be enough? Time ticking by. There is still plenty of time for Chris to make a play at the gate. No lights there. No killer instinct there. Okay. Actually goes, gets a little bit of haste. That'll be helpful. That'll be very, very helpful. There's Snug again. Gonna try and send Snug. It's a rather annoying situation here. Oh, God. And even that could give Chris enough time. No movement here. Okay, if it's any gate, it's got to be this one. Does Snug get killer instinct? No. It seems like it's all over. Unless Chris really can pull a rabbit out of a hat here. Hatch still shut. No lights. Has she done it? Has she done it? Yes, she has. Chris just... after all that, Chris wasn't even playing. Fair enough. So, 12 hooks for Houndmaster. She's done exactly what she needed to. But that's not all of it. She'll be needing 3 points here. If you only get 1 point, obviously you have a chance. 2 strongest third place killers will be going through, but you feel like if it's going to be 7-7, 4-4, 1-1, that puts Plague and Xenomorph in an incredibly strong position heading into round 4. So, we'll see what Blight can do. Cold Wind Farm. Not a bad map for Blight here. Should be able to bounce around pretty swiftly, put a lot of pressure on these gens, but we've just not been seeing the best version of Blight so far this tournament. I think the range speed nerf has done absolute numbers on him, and he'll be looking to prove some of the doubters wrong right here. Has to get a 4K. Obviously, no one's mathematically eliminated at this stage. That's a swing and a miss, unfortunately. No one's mathematically eliminated at this stage, but if Blight comes out of this without any points, it's an uphill struggle to get to the playoffs. Okay, looking to get the immediate hit there. Ably countered by Nia, bringing the pallet down, and Blight might have to move elsewhere, and does. Searching for that opening gen. Loses a gen somewhere. Looks like might have lost the Killer Shack gen, which is maybe the worst gen you could lose at this early stage, and there's pretty big movement over here as well. 2 survivors here. There's Dwight. Gets the injury there. No issues with the corn. Swinging through, getting the hit. Dwight just gets out of blood favor range, unfortunately. Not a bad play from Blight, but not quite good enough. And this is exactly the kind of tile where that range killer nerf really comes to the fore. Okay, Nia running in for a free hit. I think Blight very happy to pivot in that situation. Oh, not a bad attempt there. Very, very close. But, I mean, haven't we just seen this time and time again as Ace? We can sprint burst away. Haven't we seen that time and time again as well? Some decent lunges, just not being rewarded with the end product with the injury. Opportunity here. And again, hey, listen. Blight of a few months ago hits that. Current Blight does not. Ace is away. And it sounds like they're already partying in the Houndmaster team. Oh, good prediction from Blight there. Had to pull something unorthodox out of the back pocket, and has done. And that will be an opening hook, albeit with 2 gens already gone. Just needs to play positively, optimistically, keep this team under pressure. And certainly needs Pentimento with 2 gens already popped. There's a quick unhook. There's Dwight. Looking for the pallet. We'll drop it. Endurance hit for Ace. Okay, well, clearly a decisive strike situation here. As another totem's gone. Pentimento is still in play. For how long remains to be seen. Looking for the mind game here, doesn't quite get it. Not a bad move there. Should force the pallet burn. Do they get to the window again? They do, and they vault. No dead hard, because they're still deep wounded. But it's clear as day, one of the most likely decisive strike situations you've ever seen. So gotta leave Ace on the floor just for a little bit. Keeps on going for these flashy dash plays around the corner. And still not quite bearing any fruit. Has Dwight given away too much there? No, should be able to get the pallet. Wow, big greedy, and that will be the injury. Is it time now to pivot back to Ace? Imagining that someone will be there for a potential save. Oh, just manages to avoid the injury there. It's a damn shame. They're likely to burn the pallet early to get the heal. That's exactly what they tried for. They get the heal and they take the hit. What a shame. Getting the kick. And Ace goes all the way to the right. Really good from Blight there. Well blinded. Stay on top of him. Could have dead hard after all of this. No. Okay. DS will be gone by this point. So, second hook on Ace. But it's a 2-gen game. There is an opportunity for Pentimento up in the vehicle. And that's where Blight's going to go. Kind of encouraging the quick unhook here. Why not? The quicker they unhook, the quicker, theoretically, Blight can get someone out of this game and have a real shot at the 4K. But let's be very clear, it is going to be a tough situation for him. No real movement there. Could be gem movement here. Surprised this hasn't popped already. This was where Nia Coulson took that first chase, but there's no movement. Oh, God, and another gem pops over yonder, the one place he didn't go. What a shame. 3 stacks of Pentimento, but only 1 gen with which to get value from it. Oh, injury on Dwight. Oh, my God. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong for Blight in this tournament. Nothing connecting, nothing hitting. The one thing that could be said is that the team may flock to take hits for Ace. Ace is playing a little bit aggressively, very aggressively for someone who is already Death Hook. As there is a locker play. Wrong locker. Presumably. Okay, no, correct locker. Dwight gives away a hook. Now, they clearly have a gem moving, so they're not too worried about taking hooks as long as the person who gets hooked is an Ace. But, I mean, Blight will take that every day of the week. Anything that gets him closer to the 12 hooks, he'll be very happy to take. I'd say Starch just gets a window, unfortunately. Going for the blind again. Able to take advantage of it while Dwight... Wrong locker. Wrong locker. What a shame. What a shame. While Blight is recovering there, so actually was able to find a way of getting that blind when it looked like they wouldn't be able to. Injury there. Other ace in play as well. Big opportunity. Needs to take advantage of some of these situations. Gets rid of Shaq. Pallet. And doesn't it just feel like the team are giving a little bit too much in service of their friend, who does get healed? Left hook ace, takes another injury. Injury there. Oh, it's ace. Doesn't get past a wheelbarrow. And you honestly want to encourage ace to come in for the blind here, right? Why not? Maybe back into Shaq would be the way to go with this. Okay. If you're going to give away the blind, you don't want ace to do it through a window. You want ace to actually be in Shaq. Okay, well, they've given away basement hook. And you can build on this if you'd like. You might honestly have a chance here if you'd like. But just as we say that, and this team has the mastery of the devastating timing down to an art form here, so a gem pops when Blight could least afford it, just when it looked like there was some hope. And again, nothing sticking to Teflon Dwight right here. Evades another hit. Got to be looking for a way to get back to basement to put some pressure on this unhook. Is there anyone here right now? Doesn't seem like it. Could be worth trying to put some pressure on this gate. No movement there, okay. Here's Dwight again, who is feeling very comfortable taking these chases, and why not with how he's played up to this point. Gates open, and now hanging on by a thread is Blight. Hanging on by an absolute thread. Anyone escapes, it's all over. Big opportunity here. Gets a dying state. And as long as you're trading hooks, you've got a chance, right? You've got a chance. Are they going to go for protection hits here? They certainly are, so you can't go basement. You can get a decently positioned hook all the way over here. This is not going to be easy for them. This is in no way going to be easy for them. There's a blind. Injury on ace while blinded. Absolutely massive. That is exactly what Blight needed. That is exactly what Blight needed. Took a wild swing there to try and connect with someone, knowing that if they get the unhook with 3 healthy parties, it is all over. And managed to get the injury. As there's ace now. And other ace in the vicinity. Got to get ahead of them. Got to stop them getting to this gate. And we'll be able to. Okay. Takes the stun. As ace runs into Nia Coulson. Big opportunity now. Dying state there. Nia takes an injury. That will allow ace to get under the pallet. Rekindling a totem, because why not? Does this not play into Blight's hands a little bit? If you're gonna have a chance here, you're basically relying on the endgame timer to make it work, right? So maybe having someone under the pallet will encourage a team to heal up, reset, come in for the play. Maybe this could be exactly what Blight needs. Gets enough dying state. They'll be crawling. They'll be looking for the recovery. They'll get it. The issue now is that there's plenty of time for Dwight, and in fact the dying state there might not have been what Blight needed, especially because... Oh, hang on, they're going to go for the recovery. They're going to fail. Dying state there. You need a hook. You need it desperately. So, hook the person who's not dead on hook to try and encourage them to still stick around for the saves. Looking for the hook all the way over here. Now, will the team start to leave? There is not a lot of time left. Can he actually get the hook? He's got very ambitious with this. Whoa, that was closer than he would like. Someone leaves, it's all over. And what a spirited effort in the end game there. But just falling short is Blight. Ends with... That will be 8 hooks. And it's clearly not enough. Dearie me. GG. Our master in a decent position. Needed that win. Gets it. Puts her on 6 points with 32 hooks. Blight suffers a damning loss. Let's sort the table. Points and hooks. Alright, Plague on top, 35 hooks and 7 points. Xenomorph in second, only 26 hooks, but that's good enough for 7 points. Houndmaster in third, 32 hooks and 6 points. Blight in fourth now, 3 points and 24 hooks. And Skull Merchant and Twins, fifth and sixth, respectively, only 1 point apiece. Their tournament hopes are looking very grim indeed. But they're not mathematically out just yet. But their paths are very narrow. Group B, Hag versus Wraith. Another couple of killers who desperately need a victory here. Alright, Hawkins for Hag. Must-win game for her. There's really no way of sugarcoating it. She's not mathematically eliminated with a loss. But with how the group is shaping up, she may as well be. Not a bad map. Plenty of opportunities for traps to take survivors by surprise on a map like this. There is some undying intel. That's pretty useful. And even more useful is someone stopping, staring. Not sure what that's all about, but Hag will be glad of the early hook. Have we found the one gamer who does not enjoy going against Hag? It's possible. It's very, very possible. Well, what a start. Okay, needed that. And honestly, Hag kind of needed some fortune finally going her way. She's not been performing well, but she's also had a lot of misfortune with some of the teams she's been facing in this tournament. So, hoping that that is the start of a turnaround, as that's a blown skill check over there. Presumably someone moving in for a save. Not looking to give away anti-camp stuff here. Finds Claudette, who does not burn the pallet. Teleport there. Oh, just gets a little bit confused, disoriented. Not able to close down the chase in the way she would have liked. As there was a noise of some kind, but Hag just been a little bit distracted by that, you fear. As this dull totem, the one dull totem in the map, giving ridiculously good intel with the aura reading. Hag, swing and a miss. Something to which she is very accustomed. Do they get this gen? They will not. Ruin in play, okay. And a DC from Claudette. The injured party, the bot. Hag will be very happy to pivot here. In fact, might be going back, because now it might be a situation where you're looking to get second hook stage. And she is going to. Okay, top work there. Resetting the trap by the totem. Well, things are now moving in Hag's direction a little bit, although does lose the gen, unfortunately, but gets the injury. Trapped there. As the bot. Oh, he's just able to get the unhook, unfortunately. So Hag trading in the end. Won't mind that. Won't mind that at all. Did at least get the second stage from the hook, as Ada just manages to find a pallet, unfortunately. What a wild game it's been for Hag. Big opportunity here. There is a Devour Hope. That's one thing that has not been going Hag's way. Not been able to find the Devour Hope stacks. Gets one there, gets another dying state. I mean, will she even need Devour Hope with how the game is going right now? Possibly not. Trap down. Hook acquired. They will be thinking about ways to get rid of these totems. Can Hag get back there in time? There's the bot. Huge discovery here with the bot, who gets a little bit confused. Looking behind him doesn't necessarily mean dead hard. Oh, but it is! My lord. That looks very strange. That was a return to the old dead hard for distance there from the bot. Fascinating. Okay. Hook back here. You've got the trap by the totem, which conveniently also acts as an anti-unhook trap as well. Things are looking great for Hag, as the totem unfortunately is gone. Claudette just walking away. Drops down the hole. Big opportunity here for Hag. It is balance landing. Another gen does pop. Oh, but denies the vault. And getting that hook quickly is so important. One false move from Yui with one of these traps that are in position, and this game is over as they've wiped away the trap by the hook. Okay, wise from Yui, because that could have been the end of the game right there if they were not more cautious. Or not as cautious, I should say. No intel on where Yui's gone, unfortunately. Trying to cut ahead of Ada. Will have endurance. As soon as they tap the unhook, endurance will be gone. There's Dead Hard. That gives the green light for the swing. Dead Hard not proving too effective this trial. As there is the unhook. That's a shame, actually. That's a shame. If that was even a smidgen later, or a smidgen earlier, Hag could have slugged and then teleported. But no matter. Scratch Mark's heading upstairs. They do get the unhook. This presumably will be Yui. It's a big opportunity now, and there's a dying state. Okay, 2 gens left. They've actually, in spite of an almost farcically bad game state here, they have managed to make it a 2-gen situation. This game, by no means over. That will be, of course, death hooks, so no point in putting a trap down there. As there's the heal. It's the bot. They were using their medkit. They've got Dead Hard, but that's all they've got. We'll see it now. And that will be 2 survivors left. Okay. Very important for the Hag here. You really want the win, but you at least need to come out of this round with a point. So that means she has to get the 4K to confirm that at worst, she'll be leaving this one with the draw. That's going to be tough on Hawkins. Obviously, the Shack Hatch offering does nothing in this environment. As there's the trap. There's the teleport. Oh, it just keeps on walking. Very, very strange plays here. I might even say that the team are somewhat playing down to the Hag's level. Maybe you're seeing MMR in action a little bit here for Hag, giving her a boost in round 3. So, dying state there. So Hag will have roughly 30 seconds, depending on what Claudette does on hook, to find Ada, and that's huge, actually. The totem being cleansed there is huge intel. Hag has a vague idea of where Ada is and sees scratch marks. This is huge. Now, Hag is very, very slow. Can she get to Ada before Ada gets the unhook? No. That's a real shame. That's a real shame. Taking a hook as quickly as possible, trying to locate Claudette after the fact. But it is a hatch game. They have played into it. Oh, as they're hanging by the pallet. It's the one thing they couldn't do. They'll have endurance, but not for much longer. Not for much longer. Hag can afford to wait this out. GG. Oh my giddy aunt. Oh, and what a different game it could have been. Blimey. It was right there. Ooh. All right. But we were saying, maybe it's about time a little bit of luck went Hag's way. And you talk about luck right there. Seconds from disaster. But closes down the chase, gets the 4K, and will at least be taking a point from round 3. Bet you fun at parties? Yui, with the best will in the world, you walked into a room, stopped and stared at Hag. At the end of the day, we're playing a video game. What are you talking about? Joke's on you. I've not been invited to a party in years, so I don't know how fun I am. Hag gets 12 hooks. Wraith has to match it, because now Wraith is looking to be in a really tough position. If Wraith can't get a point here, only 1 point after 3 rounds of DBD, maybe Wraith's campaign is going to be on the precipice. Wraith, Dead Sands, 4K from the Hag. Wraith needs to match it. If he can't, he might be all but eliminated. He has 1 point right now, and that probably isn't going to be enough heading into round 4 in Group B. So, looking for a good, quick start here. Looking for a good, quick dying state, maybe into a pain res as well. As it's V. Trying to get ahead, trying to disrupt their run as they look for a pallet here. Ugh, just a bit too far. Maybe trying to do a bit too much here. Wraith is wasting time with every second, and V will not find a pallet, thankfully, so that'll be an injury. And gonna go cloak again. Oh, as V goes around the outside, very surprising. They do have a pallet. Will this be good enough for Wraith here? He should be able to vault this, but doesn't. This is going to be really tight. They surely vault. Okay, a mind game there would have been sensational. But thankfully for Wraith, no mind game. Just a vault. Will be a dying state. Can Wraith get pain res? Well, can get a free hit. And actually was never going for that hook to begin with. Oh, looking for the dying state. Can't quite get it. Can he get basement now? All in on basement, but Breakout is going to make that non-negotiable. What is it with these teams and destroying these killers before the game has even had a chance to begin? That is absolutely gutting for Wraith there. Needed a quick hook, needed a quick pain res, has been denied. So they're all in on the window. Little mind game there should not be enough for them to make it to a pallet. Never mind, they do. Good restraint from them as well there. Very good from Nia Carlson. And 2 gens pop. And haven't we seen this song and dance time after time? And things might just be looking up for Wraith here. Sorry, for Hag, I mean. Definitely not for Wraith. Hag and the Hag team might be singing their praises right now. Pallet thrown. Gotta leave. Gotta leave. Absolutely gutting. And it's just so hard when you take a setback like that very early on to try and re-energize yourself and get back to it, make some good plays. Very, very tough for Wraith here. Gets the kick. Gonna try and get the hit without cloaking up again. It's another injury for what that's worth, but needs a hook. Needs it desperately. Nice. Oh. And just everything under the sun. If it's a perk that you don't want to be seeing in that exact moment, you better believe you're going to see it in this tournament. That's 5 moves ahead, which is the only thing that gets them away from Wraith, and that will eventually be a dying state. But it could be a pallet save with everything that's gone on so far. Will it be? It won't be. No Sabo forthcoming. It will finally... Oh my god, the Sabo. Got a slug. Nothing else that he can do. This is absolute misery. This is not a game. This is a misery simulator here for Wraith. Great fake out from Nia. And it's exactly the chase that you don't want to take. Gotta head back. Gotta put some pressure on. V has made a mistake. Can they get to the pallet? They can. They can. Gotta get rid of it. Excruciating stuff for Wraith. Excruciating stuff for the Wraith team. You had such high hopes coming into this tournament. Looked like one of the favourites coming out of Group B. How differently things have gone. Right, can he finally get a hook? Or is Nia Carlson going to be 3 for 3 on Sabos? He finally gets a hook. My god. My, survivors. You shouldn't have. What a gift. What a glorious gift. Big opportunity here. Pallet brought down just in time. Good play there. 5 moves ahead as well, so they'll be running away even before the pallet has fully hit the ground. Decent mind game from Wraith. Gets the injury. And he's not out of this. Obviously, if you get a run of quick hooks, quick pain res hooks, you could be in with a really, really, really good shot here. That was good reactions from V there to bring the pallet down. Pallet drops, they'll bolt immediately. I mean, Wraith has not been able to find Vittorio, and a lot of the key to good killer games is finding your weak link. Maybe Vittorio would have been that, but he's certainly not found it with any of the survivors so far, and it certainly isn't this feed. He's got to move away. He's got to move away here. There's another gem pops, and there was a gem. almost there here as well. Is Vittorio. Is this the weak link? Is this an opportunity to maybe get a quick hook? Painres out there. And try and conjure up something in the end game. Little mind game through the window for Wraith. Tori should be able to get to the pallet here. There's no pallet here. I think both Wraith and Survivor stunned by the lack of a pallet. It's an incredible quick vault, and alas, it just seems like there's no weak links in this team. Unbelievable. It will at least be a dying state. I'd like to see Nia Carlson sabo this situation. Nia Carlson is saboing this situation. Nia Carlson has saboed this situation. That denies the one pain res that could have brought Wraith back into this game. And here come the body blocks. Oh my god, body blocks fail. A hit on hook, that was accidental. That will not be reviewable by the board. No issues there, okay. Faking out the cloak, looking for the injury, doesn't get it. Gotta come back to the hook. No way out in effect. Right, well, it's gotta happen soon for Wraith. Has to do something with this lengthy endgame that No Way Out will bring about. There's V. Flees the tile. Presumably the save will be forthcoming pretty soon. 2 stacks on No Way Out is not bad at all. Using the U. Injury there. Looking up. Needs to get rid of the pallet. There is the unhook. Going back to Vittorio wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Trying to stop him getting a heal on the hook here. As they have actually just fled the scene. Who knows where. Bloodstain there. Heading this way, doubling back into the tile. This weird palletless tile. There's the injury on V. Okay, so they're not able to get the gate. So maybe there's an opportunity, but the other gate is open. Keeping it on the gate panel. And V just will not make a mistake on this pallet. But needs someone else on that gate. For as long as this gate isn't open, there is a chance for Wraith. But here's the thing. The moment a survivor leaves, it's all over. And Hag takes home 3 points. Dying state there. Just going to take the hook. Just going to take the hook and praying for the most ineffective altruism that anyone's ever seen. Amazed that the hook wasn't saboed. This is V. Gate will be opened. Can Wraith get ahead of V here? There's a chance. There is still a chance. He will be able to. V trying to body block. Not able to do so. This will be a trade. Could be dead hard. There it is. Early dead hard countered there. Okay. Well, hanging on by the skin of his teeth is Wraith right now. Again, the millisecond that someone decides they've had enough and leaves, it's all over for him. But as long as there's 4 survivors in the trial, there is hope. As there's Vittorio. Okay. Takes the injury, and while he's doing that, you didn't think there was any time for them to get the save, but there they are. Nia Carlson is actually running to the wrong gate, realizes the mistake, pivots back, and it should be all over here unless someone allows Wraith a body block right on the line. And it won't happen. GG, that's 4 hooks, which, for those keeping score, is nowhere near enough. A tale of 2 lobbies. Wraith drew the short straw. Hag gets her first win. 23 hooks and 3 points to her name now as Wraith, again, is not mathematically eliminated, but to only have 1 point after round 3, a lot of things need to go perfectly if you're going to make it through to the playoffs. So maybe say goodbye to Wraith. Executioner versus Clown. Alright, Executioner. Looking for a win that will put him solidly in contention for a playoff position out of Group B. Currently on 3 points. 6 points will put him in a very strong spot with 2 rounds of gameplay to go. But has stiff opposition in the form of Clown. So, let's see how it goes here. Looking for the M2. They're not concerned by such a thing. They do fake out on that occasion. That should be the M1. It will be just very, very close there with Serena. Now. Window not on this side. Big gem movement there. Really looking for a way of closing this down. Oof. That probably should have been an M2 for the taking there. Only limited opportunities for them to dodge. And at that point, you faked it out so much. You have to give it a go. And additionally, you get Torment. So you can't Sabo that. You can't Torch Blind that. That will be the cage. And a big opportunity here with Bill. Good kick on the gen. Get that regressing. Get Eruption on it for later as well. Where does Bill go? Just keep on running. It's not. Good play from Bill. Decent play from Bill there. Looking for the M2. That should keep Bill moving to the other pallet. Just runs on through. And Bill has seen someone else succumb to the M2. So might be a little bit more concerned of that because of what he has just seen. Yeah, there's a little fake out. So there's the M1. Finally. It took a bit. Took a bit. Trail of Torment is gone, so someone has tapped that gen. Just makes the Eruption hit all the more important here. As they're gonna not go for the school bus. Okay, you thought they'd go for the elevated ground immediately there to try and counter the M2, but no such thing. As there's a dying state. Oh, but it is just half a second after the gen pops. What a shame. Where's Bill? There he is. My God, talk about camouflage. Good lord. So, it's a shame. You'd have loved to have kept that gen on side. You lose another one as well. And we're just seeing this so often. It doesn't feel like awful starts for some of these killers, but still, gen. And you've seen that there. Tough stuff. But still opportunities to put pressure on this game. You can lose a couple of gens. You can't lose a third, and there is a terrifying amount of progress right there as it's live for Ace as well. Got to get the kick. Is there anyone hanging around to get on this gen after Ace has departed? Not immediately, just painting as much of the map with nowhere to hide as possible. See if there's someone moving for the basement unhook. They are. Executioner's actually here in a fairly timely fashion. Big opportunity here. Gets a double hit. That's so huge. Can you get Bill here? Yes! That is sensational. The basement heal there. Such a surprising call. Taking out the M2. There's a killer instinct. Could it be? Oh. M2 goes begging. They stay on the tile. Looking for the window, maybe. Good stuff there. Bill's in a cage. Zarina's in a cage. What a way of taking back some tempo with the basement unhook there. And they're both second hook. That is sensational. Still does lose middle gen, though. So for every victory, there is some pushback here. And you've seen that right there. As the double uncages perfectly in sync. And this is the kind of teams we're talking about here. They are putting together lots of very important plays at exactly the right time. You need the dying state here from Bill. You're not going to be able to wait out the endurance, unfortunately. You would have needed to have got the M1, though. That is a shame. This has to be the chase. If you're Executioner, you've seen the gens moving at pace. You need a 3 survivor game if you're going to have any hope at all. So you have to go after Bill. Big opportunity here. As Ace looking for a protection hit. Not going to be able to get it. Dying state there. Free hit. Executioner won't say no. Sable there. Could be looking for some kind of play. Only background player could make this possible. And they don't have it. And it isn't DS either, because obviously it's a cage. One of the benefits of the cage. No unhook perks. So, 3 survivors remain. Is there a gem with any progress whatsoever? Because if not, Executioner may have balanced the field here. There is a gem with some movement, unfortunately. Any aura reading? Yes. Huge situation. M1. And it's the other Death Hook survivor. This is a massive play. Oh, just held off for too long there. Gave them the pallet, and then with the M2 afterwards. You can't be doing that in a situation as crucial as this. That's a great play from Zarina. Hoping they'd fake out the window. Didn't quite work. They immediately... Actually, they went all the way around Shaq there. Makes a lot of sense. And you can't put that over the basement. That's a misplay. Pure and simple. He's right to take this chase. He needs to make this a 2-survivor game. It's that simple. And will be able to. My God. Really testing the very limits of the M2 range there. It will be 2 survivors left. And with 2 gens still remaining, this is huge for Executioner. Can he discover any survivors around this gen with nowhere to hide? Yes, he can. Oh, just misses. That is so gutting. Needed to do better than that. Needed to do better than that, because the earlier you can get this dying state, the happier you are. Right, that should be the M1. It will be. Go for the blind, they get it. I say we just kept on running there, holding W. That'll be enough for now. But there's going to be substantial pressure on Ace if and when the dying state happens here. Just sending out the M2s, asking the questions. Sable living a charmed life so far. Credit to her, she's making good moves that are countering Executioner. But surely one of these will hit. If not, maybe the M1 could be in play. It will be. So, all eyes on Ace right now. He's got to play this so cautiously. You probably don't want to pop a gen here. The moment you pop a gen, Executioner's going to be on you. Oh. Ace is up to the challenge, apparently, and in he moves. Sprint burst there, presumably. Okay. M1. Will it be a trade? Oh, he's not got time. It's a big mistake from Ace Visconti. And just needs to get the M1. GG. Now, there could still be 4%. None for Sable. And can he actually make the hook over here? Yes, he can. Okay. Could have done the Mori as well. That would have been an option, but easily gets to the hook. And assuming no silliness, self-unhook chances, there shouldn't be any time. GG. Clown has to get a 4K on Decimated Borgo. Really to keep tournament hopes alive. Not mathematically eliminated with loss, but as we've seen so many times in round 3, you may as well start packing your bags. It's going to be tough. Not the best of maps for him either, and that is not the right bottle there, so maybe already some teething errors with this game. Into Shaq, looking for a Sloan's bottle in Shaq, gets it. 2 people walking away. Sprint burst here is a shame. Star Revolts. That will be the M1. Can send a Sloan's bottle into Shaq immediately. We'll be able to do so. This might force the pallet burn here. Oh, they go window and a medium bomb will be enough there. How close are you? Do you need another bottle? Yeah. They're going to make it to that power, so Clan has to reload. And already you're feeling like this might be a bit too much time taken on the opening chase. And it's a wrong bottle again. He needs to sort that out for his starters. He's only got himself to blame with some of these missed bottle opportunities. Okay, maybe pivoting to Ace, who's heading to main building now. Who pivots to the left. That's a very interesting play, and that actually might give Clown a chance here. Yeah, that's a fascinating play, but that will be a dying state. Had main building, had that pallet, or plenty of things they could have used there, but instead pivots left, maybe fearing sandbagging the gen upstairs. That could be the case. Is there any movement? No? Okay. Well, after a tough start, Clown gets a much-needed early hook. We'll get we'll get Pop Goes the Weasel on here. Loses the gen over yonder. A couple of survivors, one injured party. Looking for the speed. They'll just get Sprint Burst back. Wow, they didn't burn the pallet. They did that hard part. They got to the pallet. Oh, but that will be a save there from Hinako. Stopping, staring, admiring the work that they've just done. And we've seen so many times where one save has led to ruination for these killers. Will that be the case here? At least gets the injury quite quickly. Looking for the speed bottle. Gets it. Big opportunity here. Oh. And actually lets Hinako go back through the speed bottle again. So another tough situation there for Clown. Gets rid of a couple of pallets at least, but pallets burnt is not a qualifying metric in this tournament, and he'll know that. Looking for slowness bottle, gets it. Into an ace for Sconti, just holds up. Very slow to get the vault there. Back to the left-hand side of main building. Back to this vault again. Into a locker. What's going on with Ace Visconti? Single-handedly finding a way of bringing Clown back into this game as he chucks the wrong bottle. Again, something is wrong with Clown right now. There's no other way to put it. He's making the kinds of mistakes that we have not seen from him in the previous 4 tournaments. Or previous 3, I should say. Okay. Well, back on the patrol. Injured party up ahead. And there is still hope for the Clown. Oh, there is. Lara getting Sprintless back right there. That's another speed bottle. That's the wrong bottle yet again. What is going on with Clown? Gets a speed bottle there. Gets a benefit of it. Looking for a slowness bottle up ahead. Gets it. Lara just moves away from that tile. Gets this pallet here. There's the reload. They drop. They run. Gotta go pallet here, yeah. That will be the dying state. So Clown can absolutely take this hook and should do so, but then gotta be thinking about a way of finding Ace. As the blind doesn't quite happen for Hinako. Okay, what a spot of luck that is. I'm assuming it's Hinako, and it was. It was. Is that Ace or is that Steve? It's Steve. Drops the pallet, takes the injury. Okay. You're talking about who you want to chase. You're talking about picking your targets there. That is going to be a huge get for Clown. Dying State and Shaq will be able to use Pop Goes a Weasel on a gen that is moving a fair bit as well. Anyone around here with nowhere to hide? Doesn't look like it. It'll be a basement hook. Well, well, well. Very, very good sequence of events for Clown. Exactly what he needed to keep hope alive. Reload here, and he's on his way. Oh, the wrong bottle. Something must seriously be wrong with Clown here. This is an extraordinary litany of errors. Sending the wrong bottle out there time after time. Their scratch marks heading to the gen, interestingly. You thought that was someone moving in for the basement unhook. No, they were moving away. And here's Ace Visconti. Gets a speed bottle. Slowness bottle over there as well. Good stuff from Clown. Well managed pallet. It will give Ace the speed going through it, but not too worried about that. And Ace cannot contend with the Clown's haste right now, so firing dead hard. That will be a 3-survivor game with 3 gens left. Actually, legitimately, a really strong position for Clown now, depending on how far along the gens are. Because if you've got 2 gens that are going to pop in the next 10 seconds, well, then that levels the playing field somewhat. Okay. Getting back to Shaq as quickly as possible. As it looks like it might be a heal in the basement there. Gonna get the kick, gonna get nowhere to hide. As there's Steve, it's presumably DS, but why not get the eruption here? It is DS, but didn't need to give it away that soon. Clown will not mind this one bit, especially with how the previous chase went. Looking for the slowness bottle up over the building. Wasn't sure of where the pallet was, unfortunately. It was exactly where Clown didn't want it to be. Pallet gone here. There's Dead Hard. There's Dying State. No hook here, unfortunately. Still gone from where Ace was hooked, finally, moments ago. We'll get this hook right here. And then the question becomes, where is Hinako? Where's Lara? You maybe want to prioritize Lara here, just because that's someone who Clown's been able to effectively chase. Wrong bottle again. Clown's been able to effectively chase before. Hinako may have got the benefit of the speed bottle there, unfortunately, but takes the M1. Well, hold on just a second, because Hinako might suddenly be in a lot of trouble. Decent bottle from Clown. It's a good pallet. Oh my god, wow. I think Hinako not expecting Clown to just waltz on through the pallet and take the hit, and you've seen 2 times now how when no mind game has done the business for Clown. Oh, and that's an awful bottle. Just caught this corner of the pallet. So that will slow him down, looking to get back to the unhook as quickly as possible, but not able to do so. There is movement here. Certainly worth a kick. Could there be aura reading for Clown? There is some. There goes Steve. It'll be so good to turn this into a 2-survivor game right now. That's what Clown's going to try and do. As there could be some internet fluctuations here. I apologise in advance for any potential video effects there. Any pixelation or artifacting, please do not adjust your monitors. That is all on the side of the broadcaster. And again, I do apologise wholeheartedly. It looked like it was brief. Clown could have no distractions now, as there is a dying state that has to happen. As Steve takes the injury. That is so important right there. As a gem pops, it's still a 2-gen game. Clown actually has that really nice buffer on this situation, as there's a speed. Steve can't get away. Dead Hard could be in play. There it was. There it was. Dead Hard has a very strange animation. A very strange animation while affected by the slowness bottle. You did briefly see it there. And that's a 2-survivor situation, but 1 gen left. It is going to come right down to the wire here. This is going to be tough, tough stuff. This is where we test the Clown's grit and determination. See whether he is able to close this thing down. Has to get the 4K, remember. Nothing else will do. Oh, God. Still real question marks, even if he can get the 4K out of this one. Still real question marks about him, about his skill set, and about some of these bottles he's been trying to get. So there is gem movement here. It won't quite be Pop Goes a Weasel, but it will be nowhere to hide. Assuming that whoever was here is hanging around. There they are. Great intel. Exactly what Clown needed. Swing and a miss. Oh, got a bit too antsy to get the injury there for sure. Hopefully it won't matter. Doesn't have any bottles is the only thing. And Hinako has a pallet. And they will make it there. Maybe. Yeah. Goes to the vine, gets it. Got to reload here. Oh, giving them the speed. Thankfully, the cloud doesn't dissipate before Clown also gets the benefit. Decent play there from Hinako. Big opportunity here. Could be Dead Hard. Dying state. Oh, an intel on Lara. Now this is going to be very, very important. Where does Lara go? Does Lara firstly have enough time to get the gen? If not, are they going to stick on the gen? Will there be an immediate opportunity for a chase? This is where nowhere to hide could be so vital. They've dropped down. There they are. Huge opportunity. Injury. They're moving away from the hook. It may be all over. Slowness bottle there. Has he done enough? Oh, he just gave them the speed boost again. So Lara needs to make it to Shaq. Clown needs to stop her. It really is that simple. Oh, God, just a trail of pallets leading all the way across the map. This thing is not over. Lara pivots to another pallet. Gets the kick here. Should keep her nicely far from Shaq, but she is moving in that direction. All it takes is a 99 sprint burst She's on her way, and Clown suffers a loss. Has to be said, what a wretched map this can be for Killers of Clown's ilk. And the wrong bottle again. Gets Sloan's bottle there, moving around. Great opportunity. Will this be it? GG. Deary me, not giving them any time for a potential power struggle play. And that will be Clown's hopes kept vaguely alive with the 4K. Okay, so Clown gets a tie. 12-12. Executioner's first draw of the tournament. Clown's second. With 19 hooks already in play, that would be 31 for Clown. Okay. So Group B continues to be a relatively even group, but we'll see whether one of Ghosty or Trickster can pull ahead. They already are head and shoulders above the rest of the group, but one of them here with a victory. Hold on just a second, because... No. I was going to say, with a victory, could one of them clinch a playoff place? I don't think mathematically no, but I think whoever wins here is 99.9% likely to end up in the playoffs. So a massive game with massive playoff implications. Trickster versus Ghosty. And if it's a tie here, it really is wide open in Group B. Alright. Trickster, Wreckers. Game on. The battle, they're right to idolize him because he currently is joint top with Ghosty on Group B. And whoever gets the win here will have a commanding lead and will not clinch a playoff position, but will be very, very, very confident of making it all the way through to the playoffs. So, an incredibly important game here. Looking for a good early patrol, looking to find someone swiftly. Not finding anyone yet, but there is gem movement here. Okay, big opportunity. There's a boon in play. And it's Hanato. Big opportunity here. Massive opportunity here. Will be an injury. Oh my god, what a start for Trickster. No ifs, no buts. Just quick blades and a quick dying state. And... oh god. If they have Sabo, it will deny the hook entirely. Worth the risk, maybe, for the pain res. That's what Trickster's thinking. And gets it. Gets pain res. Snuffs the boon. Looking to see where the survivor who was here went. No scratch marks leading away. Okay. No into in that regard. But other than that, a fantastic start for Trickster. Sees the next gen. That's possibly Sprint Burst from Fung there, moving away. Drops the pallet, look for the injury. Or gets caught on the rock. Big opportunity here. Only needs 2 blades to connect. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. There's only the 3rd in the end. Got a bit ahead of myself. But still, fantastic stuff from Trickster. Do they fail this mind game? No, they don't. Good kick there, though. Where does Fun go thereafter? Still behind this boulder. Wow. That's massive, and it'll be a second pain res hook in short order. Keeping the gens stalled out at 5, and there is main event. Going to quickly reload. Has Killer Instinct around Shaq. And a big opportunity here for Trickster to continue to pressure the team and to continue the damage. As the window's blocked with crowd control, does Hanato realise? He does now. Main event in play. Big opportunity. Injury there. Is Hanato going to flee the scene? Only takes 1 blade. Not great for Trickster. Wanted more than the injury, but opportunity. Steal for the dying state there. No pallet burn. Maybe even better. Maybe it would have been even better if Trickster could have found a way for them to drop the pallet before the dying state. But regardless, mustn't let perfect be the enemy of good. It's been a fantastic start for him. And the Ghostface team, who have had a fantastic tournament so far, maybe begin to sweat on this one. As Dwight looking for the save. Ooh, reassurance, okay. Tough to see there, tough perk to see. And yeah, Dwight is around here. Continuing to loop around Hanato. It's the Vault. There goes crowd control. That's live as well. But I mean, all the reassurance in the world, you've still got to find a way of moving away from the hook, right? You can't loop ad infinitum here. It says the unhook. And you've just given Trickster a massive opportunity to close down this chase and to get someone out of this game. There's a dying state. If this isn't DS now for Hanato, Dwight may have just handed the game to Trickster on a silver platter. It is DS. Okay, there you go. No easy tunnel situation here, and Hanato will flee the scene. Okay, and honestly, you think Dwight has maybe been bailed out there? Possibly saw, as the survivors can see one another's perk, possibly saw that it was DS, but still, did you need to be that risky with it? Perhaps not. Regardless, it's Dwight back on the gen. Looking for the injury, just not quite getting it. And he knows his Trickster lines well, does Dwight? And one gets the feeling that if you chase Dwight for too long, you could lose the game elsewhere, and that seems to be what's happening. Gem pops here, and it was Hanato moving it. So, big opportunity to do exactly what we wanted to earlier, but was denied by DS to try and get Hanato out of this game. Looking for the injury, gets it. Main event in play. Big opportunity here on Hanato. Will it be head on? It won't be. Dying state there. Is there anyone here for the save? It is now even more pressing for Trickster that he makes this a 3-survivor game. And assuming no body block here, he will be able to. That gem pops. Trickster may be thinking that a different gem had popped before it had not. Okay. Well, it will be 3 survivors left, but with 1 gen. The ask for them, it's not quite as dominant a position as it could have been. Sans DS. Zezarella Rose on the hill. Dropping down, will it be balanced landing? Doesn't look like it. Opportunity here. Just the 1 blade. It needs to do better than just the 1 blade trades. 1 blade at a time is not going to get the job done. Gets a couple there. 1 away from injury. Gets it. And then Arella kind of stuck out on the periphery here. 11 blades for Trickster. Just going for the M1. That's probably the wrong call. It's a little mind game here. Doesn't quite get it. Oh, and gets caught on the ramp. Gets caught on the ramp on the school bus as there goes the final gen. Terminus now in play. No way out in play as well. I mean, 1 blade, but 1 blade is all that remains. Well, it doesn't go for the pallet. They will on this occasion. Does she bolt? She does. Just got caught on the bus, but it doesn't matter. Dying state. What a shame. Another quick game on the gens, and Trickster not able to keep up like so many killers in this group stage. Alright, the reload here. Still, the good news is that No Way Out has bought enough time such that the gates will not have been moved while the hook has been obtained. So there goes Dwight. Injury on Dwight is so massive. Is there anyone on the gate right here? No, not yet. Fung presumably on the gate behind, but again, Trickster finding himself being looping Dwight here, who just has some very, very good lines against him. Oh, just gets got by a mind game. And that has not been the case all game long, so that's a rare victory for Trickster. There could still be something for him here. Needs to find someone. Presumably, Fung has got the gate open. They have. They might have opened that to allow for the heal. Unlikely that they'll go for the save while injured. Never mind, there's a save while injured. Good work, presumably. Well, I don't know. That could have been either Arella or Fung getting the save there. And just no sign of the survivors as they went over here. And there's Dwight. Okay. Who Dwight, who will have the 15 seconds of endurance here. Maybe a safer bet to go after Arella. There is Dying State. Okay. Big opportunity. Hook over here. And this is roughly where Dwight ended up. And a lot rests now. A lot rests on how they play this. Trickster will be hoping for a little bit more altruism. They are now able to heal up. Still no gate movement there. Every possibility that Dwight and Fung have found one another and they're healing. If you can catch them out of position, that could be massive. Got to find a way of reloading as well. Not a lot of time left in that regard. Yep, Fung gets healed. They surely won't be healing on the opposite side of the gate. If they're going to be healing, they could be in this corner to do so. They were on the line. They leave immediately. And that will be 8 hooks for Trickster. Another game in which he's left hooks on the table, but it's been good enough for him so far this tournament. Will it be good enough for him today? 8 hooks is a fascinating total. I could not call this one way or the other. As it's Ghosty, Dead Sands, 9 hooks or more, and Ghosty will all but clinch a playoff berth. 6 hooks or fewer, Trickster will be in that position. So this is such a vital game right now. And Ghosty needs to start strong. Has had such a brilliant tournament so far. Doing really, really well. Oh. And honestly, a real shame that Dalita was right there. Was hoping to finish off the mark on Kate and get an exposed Dying State. But no joy. Drop here. Oh! Overplayed the hand massively, and that will be a nice early hook, even without the mark for Ghosty. And it'll be basement. More to the point. What a start. Well, that is exactly the kind of opening that they wanted to see, as Kate Denson is playing it very aggressively. Might take the mark here. Will do so. That is the last thing you expected to see. As Nicolas Cage has the gem. It'll be a huge Pop Goes a Weasel kick. Gets him away, looking for Kate. Is Kate going to continue to play aggressively? Maybe move in for the basement unhook? You couldn't imagine something like that, right? There's a bit of movement here. And there they are. Huge opportunity. Wow, they don't bring that pallet down? Had to find a way of bringing that pallet down and taking advantage of the 2-pallet tile. In the end, it will be a Dying State. And Gusto will get the hook in time to maybe pressure them as they flee the basement. There's Thalita. Who takes a hit here? It will be Nia. Okay. Good stuff from Nia Carlson, understanding the situation, wanting to draw Ghosty away from Thalita, avoid the tunnel. It'll be another kick on the gem right here. Does that bring Nia Carlson back to the hook? It does not. It might have to be Nicolas Cage for the unhook right now. As Nia Carlson needs your party on this pallet. Decent play on the pallet by Ghosty. He's been so good in this M1 mind game situation. He's going to get the goods again here. And one thing he keeps on doing really well as well is pressuring that 1 gen. Nicolas Cage is desperately trying to find a way of getting that 1 gen out there. But Ghosty is just denying him at every turn. As Thalita is in the basement, maybe looking to move in for the save. Isn't able to do so. Kicking the gen. Going stealthy, looking to see who's moving in. And Nicolas Cage's been forced away as Thalita gets the unhook. Who gets the unhook here? As Kate is really aggressively trying to take a hit there. Ne'er have you seen a more likely decisive strike situation than this. Right here, and there you go, it will be DS. What? Did they miss it? Did they miss it? It's absolute jubilation for the Ghostface team. They're all laughing their heads off. They can't believe what's happened. And Ghosty is halfway to the 8 hooks on total, and they're falling all over themselves now. It's absolute carnage in Dead Sands. This team can't wait to get on the hook. And Trickster, head in his hands here. It might all be falling apart for him. That is sensational. And don't look now, but Ghosty has a 4K 5-gen situation ahead of him here. This is tremendous stuff as Kate is moving in for the save. Shoulder the burden to keep them in the trial. What can they do with that? At the moment, it looks like not much. As Nicolas Cage takes a hit, he'll be looking for the unhook. If he gets it, it'll be a trade. It'll be a trade. And Nia stops, stares, considers, and flees. They've decided that they do have something to fight for here as Nicolas Cage goes on hook. As Tremors gives away some intel. The gen just beyond Shaq is moving. Can Ghosty get it regressed? He can. It's barely moving to begin with. He gets the kick out there. Looking for a mark. And actually loses Thalita entirely. As Kate does just reveal him. Comes back. Looking for a possible dead hard. No such thing in play. It's currently 6 hooks. Assuming that he gets this hook, it will be 7. And it has to be said, the game technically not over yet, but Ghostface's brilliant tournament continues here. Back to Thalita. Looking for an expose. And just barely denied. There they are. There's the exposed. Do they find a pallet? They've got one there. Do they make it? No. And assuming no one's here for the pallet stun, that will be the draw secured. And with 5 gens remaining, and with 3 survivors left, and with the kind of game that Ghostface is playing, it looks like a win is in the bag. A win is all but confirmed. Let's be completely real about this as he goes stealth mode. Searching for that remaining survivor. Kate Denson back there. Looking for a way. Getting the exposed before being revealed. And he does! Not! Well, it doesn't matter. Love to know what happened there, because it really did seem like he did enough to get the mark. Obviously, the end result is still the same. Just didn't get it in the end, but it's all much of a muchness. 2 survivors left, and that's the win for Ghosty, and he is all but confirmed as a playoff contender. And who would have had that on their prediction sheet, on their bingo card, going into the World Cup? You can't say enough good things about Ghostface, about the tournament he's had, about the displays he's put forward. Obviously, there's a lot of variance in the kinds of lobbies that Ghosty's come up against compared to other survivors. But listen, you can only compared to other killers. Sorry, but listen, you can only play the team that's in front of you, and he has done so remarkably well, time after time. And this is a well-deserved victory here for Ghostface. For Trickster's part, he will still have a reasonably strong hold of 2nd place in Group B. So still has a really good shot of a playoff position. And honestly, after the 8 hooks there against Ghostface, it never seemed like enough. It always seemed like more would have to be on the table. As this could be dead hard. Nope. I can say that. Is there going to be any intel as to Nia Coulson's whereabouts with Thrilling Tremors? No from Thrilling Tremors, but how about seeing her directly? There she is. There she is. So this might be all over. And one there. Obviously, hook differential is still going to possibly be quite important for Ghosty here. If Ghosty does drop some points in the last 2 games, maybe we'll be relying on that to secure 1st place over 2nd place or so on. So we'll be wanting to continue the perfect run. So far, it is 2 games, 2 4Ks for Ghosty. Will he be about to make it 3 for 3? Oh, and he had the opportunity. He had the opportunity right there. Hatch is still in play. But it will not be available. Gee. What a performance. What a strange game. What a good game for Ghosty. And I think that's the first 4K 5-gen game of the tournament. And it's Ghosty on Dead Sands. And that's just the kind of tournament that he's having. GG. 12 hooks for Ghosty. So, Ghostface continues his perfect tournament. 3 games, 3 wins, and the full 36 hooks. Trickster suffers the first loss. 25 hooks, his total. As we sort the table. Ghosty on top. And not mathematically through to the playoffs. Not just yet. There is a world in which Executioner gets 2 wins to go to 10 points. Trickster could still go to 12 points here, and if Ghosty lost, that would relegate him to 3rd. Theoretically, Hag could also get to 9 points. So there's situations in which Ghosty does not qualify, but those situations are very unlikely. Ghosty should have sewn up a playoff position with that performance, and in round 4, we will be confirming such things. Trickster in 2nd with 6 points. 25 hooks to his name. Executioner in 3rd place with 4 points. Hag in 4th place with 3 points, 23 hooks. Clown has had a really, really tough go of it. 31 hooks, better than everyone bar Ghostface, but only 2 points to his name. And Wraith on the bottom of Group B, 1 point, 26 hooks. Not out of it, not yet, but things are looking grim for Wraith. So we'll start in Group C. This will be Dredge versus Slinger. Now, we've got no mathematical eliminations, right? But if Slinger doesn't at least get a point, and really 3 points here, he's basically out. Not mathematically, I'm pretty sure there's still a string of results that could lead to an unlikely Slinger qualification. But I mean, look at the group here. All of the killers bar Slinger have at least 3 points. If Slinger can't get anything out of round 3, I think he's done. I think he's all but done, and I think you can count him out of any playoff aspirations here. So very, very important game coming up for Depth Slinger. Dredge, on the other hand, you know, it's wide open in Group C right now. Whoever gets a win in round 3 will be feeling really good about their prospects heading into round 4 and 5. So we'll see, and we'll start with Dredge, as it'll be Hawkins. Hawkins for Dredge. Not bad for Dredge here. Interesting. Usually a decent split of lockers on this map. We'll see how that goes. Immediate Nightfall here with the field recorder. Also has the microphone for big aura reading. Going to try and utilize that almost immediately. Is there someone right here? Oh. He just locked it in time. What a shame. What a shame. Plenty of folks around here. Plenty of options for Dredge. And finds a couple of Steves down the way. That was pretty decent from Steve, guessing at where Dredge was going. Not easy to track Dredge while in Nightfall, but it should still be an injury. It will be. Okay, so all to play for here for both parties. A win puts Dredge in a really good spot, but an apocalyptic situation for Slinger, who has to get pretty much all 3 points, or he is not mathematically eliminated, but all but eliminated. And that's a good start for Dredge. Nice early hook. Gonna head to this locker, put some pressure on here. All 3 survivors here. That's fantastic for Dredge. And looking for another nice early injury. Gets it under the pallet, gets rid of the pallet as well. They go for the blinds and they get it. Might have doubled up on the blind there. That blind appears to be a bit longer than usual. As Steve does not head upstairs. Going to a place kind of devoid of lockers right here. Oof. And Steve committed a bit too hard to the mind game, and we'll take a basement for his trouble. Basement for Dredge here. So fantastic. Well, he has come out the gates like a whippet. Fast as all hell and making an incredible start to this game. Plenty of lockers, has to be said. The team are making early inroads to attempt to frustrate and deny Dredge. Not working yet, but we'll see how this goes. It's still very early days. Dredge trying to guess where Steve's going. And Pallet here. Remnant out, moving around. And that'll be the M1. Good stuff. Back on the same Steve. who Dredge was after before, showing a red snake coming back. Oh, good check spot there from Steve, has to be said. And we'll get back to the pallet. It's Dissolution, though. It is live. Doesn't take the best of lines with it. We'll do well enough to get to another pallet. There's a dying state. Okay, good stuff. Dredge not being mind gamed on any of these pallets here, making some pretty decent moves. There is Dissolution. There's one of Dredge's own perks. One of the more impactful ones, Dissolution. Seeing a lot of value from that. And seeing it there. So it'll be Steve on second hook. All the while, there is still not a gen out there that's been popped yet. Surge did a number on that one. Could be moving over here, maybe? There is not. There's the unhook. Should be able to teleport back relatively soon. Sure, gonna eat the locked locker there, as there's a bloom skill check on the Dren. The Dren? Yes, Dredge's gen. The Dren. Alright, so who's here? Probably a Steve, but which one? This one. Another locked locker. Gone through loads of those so far, as there's the injury. Teleporting ahead. Teleporting way ahead here. This might fall him. This might fall him. It does. Still not a single gen. Likely to see a gen popping to Dredge's left over there very shortly. There it goes. Okay, brilliant stuff. Oh, you're sad to lose the gen, but you're smug about the game awareness. No lockers over here, but there's the heal. Do they get it? Oh, they do. An early swing, an early miss from Dredge. Just one Steve stays, one Steve leaves. Oh, as they run through, dispel the remnant, but they still take the injury. And Steve's in trouble. Steve is in tremendous trouble here. Needs some assists from the team. Not seen much of those torches yet. They'll need to use them if they're going to have any chance of keeping 4 in this game. It's not dead hard because it was live. The wall's right there. I don't think there's an angle for a save. And then there were 3. Great situation for Dredge. And Slinger's hopes dwindling and growing more transparent by the moment, fading away to non-existence here as Dredge is on the tail of Nancy Wheeler. They don't burn the pallet immediately. Oh, the tile's just a bit more substantial than you might imagine. So Nancy not taking the hit there as there's Steve. And it's exactly as we were suggesting. It seems that the team are much more interested in blinds than they are gens. It's lucky break here for Steve. Gets the pallet. Dredge not fooled by that. It is a much more substantial tile than you might imagine. Steve gets all the way around it. It might get back to the pallet here. It could be dead hard. It is not. Another surge play on the gen behind. Dredge is not giving an inch today. This is very, very dominant in the early stages. So there was gen movement there. There's also Steve behind in the corridor. Pretty sure that's what we were seeing. Not sure now. Not sure as Nancy Wheeler heads away. Should allow the other Steve to go for the save here. Could have made a remnant play here for sure. Popping a remnant down here. And that gets the injury. Nancy runs into a doorway. That could be a huge mistake. And this Dredge is just not someone you can make those kinds of mistakes against. Oh, as Nancy runs through. Won't be able to do anything. Dying state. Good use of remnant again. I think maybe too much setup here from the team. Loads of lockers are locked, but at the end of the day, it just seems that has meant that the gens have been incredibly delayed. Now, here's an interesting thing to monitor. Is Steve actually going to go for this unhook? He isn't. Now, where is Steve? He's on the gen. He's on the flipping gen over there. Steve does not give a hoot. And this could play exactly into Dredge's hands. Good work, mate. Good work. Top work on the gen. Looking for the unhook. No! Just runs right on through. Runs right on through. Nancy has been left and probably now just searching for a chance to get hatched. No, they do come back and they do get the unhook. Okay. Credit to Steve. Steve keeps on running. Has a pallet here. We'll drop it. Remnant down here. Moving back. Well played from Steve. Okay, they've won one. Open brackets one. Mind game. You don't want Nancy here if you dredge. If you get Nancy on the hook, all that leaves is the door open for Steve to potentially get a hatch. What you really want to be doing, as dredge goes entirely the wrong way, is getting Steve on the hook and shutting the door on Nancy, as Steve finally has worked out how to play pallets. Never mind. So, hook for Steve. And the good thing with Dredge's perks here is that Dredge basically has at will aura reading by using 3 teleports. That's what it's going to do immediately. Quick as you like. And alas, just in time to see Nancy moving back in for the unhook. So it does look like Dredge will be playing into a hatch game here, which is music to the ears of the Deathslinger team. Dead hard from Nancy. And away she goes. Comes into another set of boxes there. Drops the pallet. Flees the scene. Not bad from Dredge, not bad at all. Gets Bloodlust. Do they get the window? No. They'll feel a little bit hard done by on that one for sure. Right, Dredge needs to hook and then immediately utilize those 3 teleports to find Steve. Big, big, big situation for Dredge. Could even maybe search a locker, but this just gives more guaranteed intel. Well, that's the assumption. Anyways, there's Steve. Steve behind in the lab area. Poor. Is he about to get very, very lucky indeed? There he is. He's on the move. Oh. And this is so important here because you feel like a point won't be enough for Slinger. So if Steve gets hatch, Slinger has a chance. If Dredge gets a dying state, Slinger might be eliminated, to be honest with you. 0 points for Slinger. I don't think there's any way. Oh, and brings the pallet down, tries to run away. And it's looking like it might be the funeral rites being read out for Deathslinger here. He's going to be able to get only a maximum of 1 point. Certainly will need that 1 point, but even that might not be enough. GG. What a game from Dredge. Deathslinger, groaning storehouse. 4K or goodbye. That's the narrative here. He's had a dreadful tournament so far. Nothing's been going his way. And if he comes out of round 3 with 0 points, it's going to be really tough to see how he can make the playoffs. He's not mathematically eliminated, I don't think, but honestly, he may as well be. This is last chance saloon. Last chance saloon for Slinger. And that's a bad miss. Sable gets away. Another survivor over here. Oh, unfortunate for Slinger there. You're really looking for that to connect. Come back for the pallet. Good play there. There will be another injury. Okay, couple of injuries here. But honestly, these games for Slinger haven't been bad for lack of injuries. They've been bad for a lack of end product, a lack of hooks. That's been the case time and time again. Cheryl gives away the M1, so scared they are of the shot. And this could be something here for Slinger. Ah, just going to have to get past these boxes, and it's not quite going to go his way. Reloading here. Do they make a mistake and vault early? No, they do not. And this is so vital. Oh, and he's made a move. That's a great dodge from Cheryl. That's a fantastic dodge from Cheryl when Slinger could least afford it. Will he get her around the boulder, around the trees? No. And isn't this just same old Slinger that we've seen time and time again? He's got to leave. He's got to leave. Get the gem regressing. Find someone else. But this has been his tournament so far. Flashes of promise. Flashes of something. And then just falling apart under the first sign of any amount of pressure. It's been atrocious for him. And just miss after miss after miss. Good stuff from Cheryl again there. As it's a second gem pop, Cheryl keeps on going. There she is. And there's a shot. And there's the hook. But it's a 2-gen game. And unless he can muster up some depths here, unless he can find some grit, some resilience, some fight, some passion, and most importantly, some hooks, he's thoroughly, thoroughly cooked. There was someone in this tile. He's not able to find wherever they went. There's someone going for the save here. Not quite. Got to be careful of the anti-camp unhook here. If there's something going Slinger's way, it is at least a very decent 3-gen here. And there's the unhook. Quite right. And no sign of who got the unhook. Oh, probably Jake. There he is. Good shot. Good shot. Led them just a little bit. Did enough to connect with the shot there. Jake going to try and head to Shaq. Could a second shot be on for Slinger? Yes! Okay. And does the fight back start here? Every time you get a dying state, you probably need to be converting it into a Scourge Hook. That's what Slinger's going to do here. Doesn't use Pain Res. So that's great news. That means that no gens are moving except from the one that's currently blocked. With Deadman switch over here as Sable takes the M1. Moves around this way, going to the periphery. Strange move from Sable. Medium Volt there. Live. Shouldn't be enough. Oh my god. Don't know how that connected. Thankfully for Slinger, it did. Now he needs that Pain Res. Now he needs that Pain Res. Does he have a Pain Res hook? No. And that is gutting. Can he at least get back to the hook in time to stop it popping? He chooses to reload, which is maybe a bit of a risky move there. Okay, it's fine. He gets it regressing. Gotta move elsewhere. There is a blockage here. That did not activate Pain Res either. So someone in main. It's Jake going for the unhook. Moves away. Okay, stops and stares at the missed shot. This gen still regressing, that's great news. Okay, Slinger can kind of control the game a little bit here. Keep an eye on the hook as Jake is running around there, putting some pressure on. There goes Cheryl. Okay. Choosing now to make his move is Slinger. Looking ahead to Pain Res though, and obviously you're not going to get a Pain Res hook with Cheryl. If you're going to get much of anything with Cheryl, it might be wiser for Slinger to move away entirely, get this aggressing. So you know they are likely to be back on this gen. No, never mind, still regressing. They've actually got the heal over here. Sable again. We'll be looking for Lithe. Oof, the frames. When he can at least afford the frames. That will be the shot, that will be connection, it will be the injury. Will Sable take Slinger over to one of these Pain Res hooks? Oof. What she's going to, it needs to happen soon, because 1 gen away from the exit gates now is Slinger. And that's a shot just needed to connect. And that's classic Slinger, expecting the dodge. There is no dodge. When you don't expect the dodge, you better believe there's a dodge. There goes the last gen. And wave him goodbye, everyone. While not mathematically eliminated, this is Slinger's last hope going. down the drain. Can he at least get a hook here? He can. He can. And if there were any inefficiencies on the gen whatsoever, this would be an opportunity for pain res, but that's just not the kind of games that Slinger's been seeing. Okay, Sable up ahead. They still can't open the gates. Someone else does move in for the unhook. Good shot. Good shot. So the injury there. Just getting around the tree. The Cheryl's looking for the gate. Good shot there, okay. Well, hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Because maybe Slinger's not out of this yet. Look for the reload. Whoa. Pivots to the right, does Cheryl. Unexpected play, but a good one for the situation. All the while, Sable can be moving the other gate. Jake's here. Jake's uninjured, but now he's injured. Could there be a shot around the corner? Not quite. Oof. Maybe just had the angle there. Not sure how that doesn't connect. No matter. Gotta pivot to these gates. Sable over here. Shot doesn't have range, and that might be it for Slinger. Never mind, okay. Has the hook. But his World Cup dreams are dangling by a thread right now. The good news is, Sable here has no hooks to a name, but the moment someone leaves, the moment you see the exit gate symbol on the UI on the bottom left is the moment that Slinger is done. Hook there. You've got to play this so cautiously if you're Slinger. What are you hoping for? You probably actually want them to all heal up, right? You want them to be encouraged to go for this save. You certainly want the timer to tick down. Can you stop Cheryl here? That actually is not who you wanted to see. That is not who you wanted to see at all. There's the reload. This shot has to connect with someone. It does. Are they gonna leave Cheryl? Have they seen enough, or are they still wanting the 4E? Slinger's done a good job there. Can actually get the hook a little bit more distant from the gate. There's 2 minutes on the timer as it stands. Obviously, that timer will get faster the moment the unhook happens. And again, I can't stress enough how insufficient of a thread Slinger is dangling on here. The moment anyone leaves, it's all over. So Slinger's got a slug there. Gotta keep this game on side. As where is Jake? Injured party there, Sable there, so where's Jake? Shot doesn't connect. God, you would have loved that to have connected. Do you feel like there's maybe a little bit of hope right now for Slinger? Oof. There's the recovery. There's the unhook. Timer's moving. The main concern is Sable. You just want to stop whoever's closest to the gate, right? You want that timer to be moving as quickly as possible. You can fend off Jake. You can try and drag him away. But it might not be it might not work. It might not matter. Someone leaves. Another person leaves. And my God, how he fought in the end. But as has been the hallmark of his campaign, it just wasn't enough. GG. Right, 2 wins for Dredge. Very important booster points for its campaign as Slinger can't do it yet again. 3rd loss of the tournament, 16 hooks. He is out. He's not mathematically eliminated, but he has such a thin chance as to be basically negligible. So say goodbye to Slinger. GG. Why didn't Painless work the first time he hooked Sable? It will be because there were no unblocked gens with any progress, so it didn't activate. Right. As we go now to Knight versus Trapper, who are both killers in a really good spot here. Whoever gets to win has a really, really, really good chance of qualification, which would be a surprise for both parties here. I think Slinger, having such a dismal campaign, has opened the door to killers like Knight and Trapper here in Group C. Knight, everything to play for in Group B on Almond Lake Mine. Away he goes. Looking for early intel. Could send the Jailer out to main, that's what he does. No immediate intel. Oh, but scratch marks here. I think Knight actually confused the Jailer for a survivor there. Not Knight's finest moment. To be sure. Sends out the assassin. Tries to anyway, just gets held up a little bit. Okay. There you go. Nice easy 1-2 with the assassin on the pallet. Yui has no answer, and that will be hook 1. Good stuff for Knight there. Looking for another Jailer. Looking for another bit of intel here, as there is gem movement. And there's intel at Shane. Goes away. He goes to kill a Shack. Uses live to get away, but nice pincer maneuver here from Knight. There it is. So that'll be the M1. Oh, hang on. Always best to let the guard do the hitting, but Shane was just too far away for that to be in play there. Sends out the assassin. And just takes an unfortunate path that allows Knight to get his second dying state and second hook. Good work, good work. Sending out the right guards for the job as well, which has been an issue. An issue that's plagued Knight's campaign, even when the game's been pretty good. A lot of Carnifex chases, a lot of situations with guards who are just not fit for purpose, but now making much better decisions in that regard. There is not a lot of gem movement really anywhere that Knight can see right now. I'm going to take another look at the gen over here. Oh, and of course, the one gen he doesn't patrol is the one that gets popped. At least there is some movement over there. As the unhook and the heal to the right. There goes Yui. Time for the assassin. Yui entirely changes the path there. Will take the injury before getting the pallet. The teabags into the torch. Fair enough. Whatever amuses you, I suppose. As it's time for the Jailer. Good prediction from the Knight there, knowing they'd leave the Tal in that way. Is there going to be anyone here for a pallet save, though? Yep. Oh, too early. Too early from Ada. They'll take an injury as well, the free hit there. They'll take a dying state as well. My God, what a situation. Still easily going to get the hook here. And that's how you make a bad situation all the worse. As Knight also gets pop, goes a Weasel out on that gen as someone's waiting for a torch save. Knight sees them. Gets the injury. Massive situation here. Gonna try and get the assassin out on Hanato as well. That connects, which is so huge. Okay. So this will be another hook. As Hanato looking for the banner. Gets it. Has endurance for a little bit because of that. Getting another guard out there, the Jailer this time. Not a bad path. Yep. Very good stuff. And pincer maneuver here as always from Knight. And that's a lovely dying state. This is just a new and improved Knight we're seeing this year. One of the lowlights of the previous tournament was Knight in general, but also one game in particular. But my God, he has turned a corner here Assassin on the gen. No one around. Thinking maybe that he could hear footsteps over there, but not quite. Oh, that's still regressing. That's still regressing. As Ada is staring. Jailer will connect. Okay, could just be a double hit situation. Or Knight. They're going to keep on running. Live there. There's also a gen here. Won't quite be able to get Pop Goes a Weasel, but will be able to get Eruption. It's time for the Assassin, who's been doing so much good work here. Ooh. Good play from Ada there. Just runs all the way over to Shaq. Gotta be careful here. Gotta be careful. Can't let them run away with this thing. It's been a good start, but with 4 survivors still in the game, there's every chance they could bring this back. The guard just connects. But Knight gotta take the swing there. Not been using the Khan effects at all. Maybe can here. Why not? Why not? May as well. Still stays on the chase. Regression here. Good to see. Oh my god, that was dead hard. That was dead hard, but Knight was too busy establishing a guard. The end result is the same. Yui escapes chase. And she is done. Unless someone can pull a save out of their back pocket. But they're BC, they're not interested. Alright. So you feel like, I was going to say, you feel like that game was beginning to move away from Knight there with the gens popping, making it a 3 survivor game, very important. And again, trying to cut ahead of the survivor here. Oh, as that's live to get away. Very impressive work from Ada there. That should be an injury every day of the week, but not quite able to make that work. And they get to a pallet. Knight might have to go elsewhere here. Knight might have to leave because things are looking a little bit grim all over again. Sending out the assassin. Will that connect? Yes. Very important. Can they get a kick out there? Mainly for Eruption in the future, as there goes Shane. And again, good decision, obviously, to not take the attack from the guard. Ooh, but takes a line that is intended to avoid the guard, but instead just runs right back into the Knight. So, an important hook there when Knight was starting to struggle. The team's starting to rally and make some plays. Still has that nice 2-gen buffer, but maybe not for long. There you go. 1 pops. Hoping it won't be 2. Hoping it won't be 2 here. Is that still aggressing? And there is Ada. Popping the guard down here. Oh, they'll just get away, unfortunately. Good line taken from them. Jailer out there. Oh, good path. Good path from them. Oh, as the guard connects, and here's Ada. Okay. Injury there. Needed that. Do you have the assassin ready to go? Not yet. You do have the Khan effects. You'd much rather have the assassin. Good play from Ada. There's a dying state. Can you get Khan effects out quickly just to break this pallet? Sure. Doing the little things right. It still has been. Obviously, it's not been as good in the mid-game than it was in the early game here, but it's still been a really good display from Knight. I'm just hoping that the gens aren't moving too much, as there goes Hanato. Assassin out for him. Good pathing taken there. Gotta make sure this gen isn't moving too much. It's moving enough to warrant the kick. And it is a decent 3-gen. for Knight here. The only issue being, you've got to give the hook a wide berth here if you don't want to get foiled by anti-camp. As Nato goes in for the save. Should at least be the injury on Nato. Nope. Ada's done. Ada's apparently done. Hoping for a background player. Could very easily be DS here. No. Just not interested. Not interested at all. Another good line from Hanato. Hanato's done really well to avoid the guards here. However, running back into the path of the assassin. Great situation here for Knight. There's the injury. Exactly what you don't want to do if you're this survivor. Devolt. Oh, good play. Nice line from Knight. No chance of escape there. And now it's very simple. Find Shane before Hanato gets through. His hook status. Is there any chance that Shane is maybe moving this gen? No movement there. Every chance that Shane could also be just waiting for Hatch here. You're liking that patrol path from the jailer. You're liking what that's doing for you. Means that Shane has to be a little bit more cautious with his pathing. But it doesn't seem like the save is going to be happening, does it? It doesn't look likely. Is there any chance the assassin can maybe luck out and find Shane? It might be all over. Gonna preemptively move. My god, it's snowing a lot, isn't it? Gonna preemptively move over to Shack. Looking to deny Hatch here. And if Knight can, what an incredible performance from him. Hatch shut. And there was Shane. He did want Shack. He did want Hatch. He's not going to get it. And this... Whoa, what on earth was that? And this should be simplicity itself now for Knight. Am I losing my mind? Or is there more snow here than there usually is? RIP to the viewers. The bitrate must be awful. This is certainly more snow than I am accustomed to. Shane fakes out the pallet. Gets over it. That might be all she wrote for this one. Could have been dead hard there. GG. GG. Little guard teleportation bug. This is a... I feel like this is more... I don't remember it being this snowy, but maybe I've just never paid attention on this map. This is an incredible amount of snow. Anyway, that's by the by. Brilliant, brilliant 4K for Knight. Oh, it snows more at endgame. Oh, that's fun. Oh. Yui. Yui, Yui, Yui. Yui, if I were you, I wouldn't be running Hope. Because with plays like that, when do you ever expect to make it to the end game? Come on now. I've stood at the pallet and I'm all out of ideas. Come on now. Give it a go. It's a fun game. You just need to put the effort in. GG. Great game for Knight. 4K, 12 hooks to his name. That'll put Knight into a really good position if he can secure the win. Trapper will have something to say about that. And with a loss here, Trapper might be beginning to fall behind, so you really need to claw back 1 point and also limit Knight to 1 point. It's a very even group with the exception of Deathslinger, and that brings with it a lot of very interesting situations here. This is one of them. Trapper in Swamp. Decent map insofar as it's going to be tough for the survivors to know exactly where the traps are. Need to be a little bit surprising, confusing with the traps. You use the grass to your advantage if you're Trapper. So there's an immediate chase here, looking for the M1. Pivoting back, finding someone out of position, that'll be Lara. And that should be the M1 here. Right. Maybe a trap might be a bit confusing here. Just want to put the traps out of sight of the survivors, so they're not too knowledgeable about them, as Lara's just fled the underground here. Ah, damn. There was actually another survivor around who saw exactly where that was placed and disarmed it immediately, which is a crying shame. Sometimes when you're playing against the wrong team, and let me tell you, these killers have been playing against the wrong teams time and time again, there'll be someone who is on point to watch what Trapper does and just follow him and disarm all of his traps. I wonder if we'll be seeing that here. Someone has immediately DC'd. It's Lara here, it's the bot. So this is a great opportunity for Trapper now. Does the bot flee that situation? Yes. Actually does really well to get to another pallet, annoyingly. So there's the kick. I mean, it's a great situation here, theoretically, to get an early dying state. But this bot is... I mean, sometimes the bot just happened to run it pretty perfectly, and they really couldn't be doing much better here, considering they're on the periphery. But even them being on the periphery is pretty good. It means that they're not going to swing by those gens. There will finally be the dying state. Needs that hook, needs it soon. And Trapper would really like the win. Isn't eliminated with a loss here, but Group C is very hotly contested and dropping points here tonight would put Trapper in a very, very tricky spot indeed. It's the vault. Not many people even know about that vault. But Shane does. And does well with it. There's someone else over here. There was someone else over here. They probably moved in for the unhook on the bot. Tunneling the bot is a very valid strategy. No one can get angry at Trapper for tunneling the bot. That's exactly what he's going to do. Gotta be careful, it could be dead hard. Yep. There you go. The bots are sometimes unpredictable with their dead hearts, other times incredibly predictable with them. You saw, thankfully for Trapper, the latter case right there as the trap disarmed yet again. Disarming the trap before actually getting on the gen, interestingly enough. But another gen does pop. And no intel as to where they went afterwards. They could have dropped out. As it's a 2-gen game in almost the blink of an eye. And there's the unhook. Are they going to run any interference for their bot friend? Doesn't seem like it. There's the dead hard. I think they still had endurance, interestingly enough. So I think Trapper does need to wait just a little bit longer. Needed to wait even longer, in fact. 15 seconds, God bless it. Well, nonetheless, should still be the dying state here. The bot is gone. 3 survivors are left. But it might not be enough. Because these gens are absolutely flying, and Trapper finding no purchase whatsoever with these traps. Might even be looking ahead to a gate game here, getting the gate panel set up. Only 1 stack of no way out right now. That's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting. Okay, well, at the very least, Trapper can get Pop Goes Weasel out on what has been a constant pressure point all game long. That gen right there. So it wants to, again, establish traps on each of the gate panels. Right, finally able to take stock of the situation here, see which gens are remaining, and there's no easy 3-gen here. Unfortunately, there is movement here. It's Thalita. Heading to another gen. There's Shane. Trap right there. Will it finally do the business? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. And the night team won't like it. But it will be a replay. Wow. Oh, a server disconnect. And you gotta say, it has saved Trapper on this occasion. Because it seemed very, very, very unlikely that he was ever going to get the 4K. Unbelievable. Right, well, nothing to do but go on to the next. As it will be Trapper, who has a replay. The previous server broke entirely. The game could not be completed. It's a replay. And he is on Gideon, which, in all sincerity, is probably going to be a much worse map for him. But who knows? It just seems unlikely, doesn't it, that anyone's going to fall for any of the traps here. Okay. Here's the thing. Sable is now stuck, right? Oh, they probably can get around that trap. They can probably get around that trap. We'll soon find out. They bring the pallet down. They vault. They go. They can absolutely get around the trap. So can I. Okay. Well, that's like when you make a move in chess and you're like, oh, I found checkmate. And then the game doesn't end. And you're like, that's what Trap is experiencing right there. Tough opening for him. And won't quite get this dying state either. Pallet's gone. He's got to go elsewhere. As a gen pops. And real questions being asked right now. Does Trapper have what it takes to find ways to get hooks and to progress very far in this tournament? Because he's showing nothing, both in the previous game and early stages on this game. Just no real signs of life from Trapper. Finding teams that are not in any way vulnerable to what he's putting out there. As Sable is still around here. Yeah. Did they get around the trap as well? Oh, for pity's sake. These traps are abject from Trapper here. Just really overestimating the hitbox that they have and not finding ways of forcing hooks here. That'll be another injury. Trying to do a little bit of a mind game here. Kind of works. Will this? Not quite. Sable held the check spot well. Has another pallet to go to. Doesn't bring it down, not immediately. Oh, good mind game from Trapper. Needed to do something. Needed to pull something out of the hat there. And actually gets a dying state. And might also get a basement hook here. And this could really swing things back in his direction. Okay, what an opportunity this could be. It's a tough basement to get the rescue in any circumstance, let alone against Trapper, but needs to be really wary of the anti-camp there as well. So only time for maybe one stair trap, getting to the top, popping one down just below line of sight, but the gens are still flying. Under the pallet isn't amazing there for that trap. One just ahead of the pallet here. Okay. Well, I mean, I think Trapper sniffs opportunity. This basement hook, so he's expending a lot to keep it onside. Gets the kick here and tries to take a chase. Remember, the honing stone is in play, so if any survivor gets got by a trap and there's not another person there to free them, they will enter the dying state. There is a world in which Trapper just wins by default from survivors stepping on a succession of traps. But no problems there. And again, Trapper must have given them away to get past the traps. Unless this was an anti-camp situation. It really might have been. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Do they still have endurance here? No. So, as there goes the final gen. At the very least, that means there's no... We'll be reviewing. VAR will be reviewing that. We'll be taking a view on that one. I mean, here's the thing. If you're hacking, why would you play your hand right there? Why would you do it right there? Okay, and Sable is actually faster than Trapper here. It's a cheater. And do you know what? Do you know what? Trapper has been saved by them actually showing their hand at that stage. Because without that, Trapper would have had no way of knowing, and it would have been a loss. But now we know that we get to replay, and this will be the third replayed game from Trapper, which is quite something. My God. Injury there. They've got to be careful. Because the more precarious their position becomes, the more obvious their hacks will be as they try and maneuver their way out of this situation. Well played. And they'll get back up and around to the gate. GG. Yeah, okay, so... saved by the hacker. Trapper gets another go. Well done, well done. Even the palette animation seemed really fast. Yeah, you know me, I will never call out a cheater because I fear too much being labelled a salty killer who goes to hacks whenever he gets defeated. But I mean, that's as clear as day. That's clear as day. Light work, this guy's always so easy. Okay, okay. GG, well played. Good luck with next. Right, so anyway, here was the blind. Dying state there. So, as there goes the final gen. At the very least, that means there's no... Yeah, just... Oh. Can you see Sable Ward with the torch? At the very least, that means there's no... Nope. I mean, what do they think's going to happen? What part of that do they think is hidden? Okay, third time's a charm for Trapper on the Stromo. Hoping for a good, clean game. It's like a Groundhog Day situation here with Trapper. I mean, notions of the 4K maybe even put to one side here. Can we just simply finish a game? Let's find out. Let's find out. Okay. Trying to be a little bit unorthodox, unexpected with some of these traps, not just putting them under pallets or around tiles, maybe just in the open field, seeing if that can garner any value. As there is Rick, and there is Steve, and getting the injury on the opening pallet. Rick trying to fake out the pallet there. Trapper's always going to swing. Worst case scenario, you get rid of a very strong pallet very early. Even better, you get the injury. Okay. Now Rick's gone. Pop a trap down on the pallet. Make that a bit scary for future run-throughs of the ship. As... oh, got a bit confused there. Maybe anticipating there was someone on that tile, but not quite. As Steve, all the way around to the pallet. Going to try and run through again. I think this would be another injury, right? Closing the gap and closing the gap and closing the gap. Oh, that's gutting. That's gutting. And Steve get another run around. We'll burn it here. No, it takes an injury. Wow. Did so well, but threw it all away with that. And this becomes infinite. So, trap down on the pallet. Steve will get away. Trapper in pursuit. Alright, well, at least Trapper's found a way of making the ship a bit scary with a couple of traps that could conceivably get the goods. Steve, pleased to see. Looking to avoid dropping pallets here is Steve. We'll be dropping that one. Oof. There's a couple of gens pop, and the sound of gens popping has been the soundtrack to Trapper's games so far. All three of them. That will be a dying state. Okay. So, has a hook. Took him long enough. needs to try and wrest back control of this game. It does have basement. And it would be a foolish, foolish man who did not take advantage of a basement situation like this as Trapper on the Stromo. So here he goes. Couple of traps down, another gen popping there. And again, as always, needs to get out there as quickly as possible so that the anti-camp unhook is not in play. Right, well, plenty of traps around, plenty of opportunities to catch survivors unaware. Trapper will be hoping that that's enough. There's a couple of disarms in the ship. There's still a Pop Goes the Weasel opportunity here. Is this gen moving whatsoever? Well, there goes Rick as Fung is going to try and move back into basement. Ada's right there. One false move from Ada. And the team are in a really tough spot. They've disarmed 2. They're going to be under pressure here with the terror radius. That's when you start making mistakes, and they will! That is massive for Trapper. Okay. Should get second stage from Steve here. Resetting the traps. Every chance that Steve actually gets off the hook with anti-camp here. Hopefully not until second stage is reached. There's second stage. Okay. Huge for Trapper. And after a farcical set of games... Oh, Steve does actually get the anti-camp. Kind of annoying, but you can understand why it happened. Endurance hit there. Ada right into a trap. Hit there. Steve looking to get away. Oh, 3 drops there. And if you're Trapper, you need to have someone in the basement. Oh my god! Rick Grimes went for the blind! And steps in the trap. What a gift! A phenomenal gift for Trapper. Gets around here looking for 2 in the basement again, and he should be able to get it. That is astonishing. Wow. A throw from Rick Grimes there, going for it all, looking to break the chain of basement unhooks. Instead, has just fed into it. That will be another hook right here, going all the way around back. Gotta be so careful of Ada here, because we've seen how quickly... Oh, for God's sake. Steve was here all along. Getting the grab, can't take the hit because of endurance, could be DS. It isn't DS, okay. Oh, that's a good play from Steve, but an irritating one. You did not expect the injured party to be hanging around. There he is. Has a pallet to the left, doesn't go for it, could be dead hard. Gonna swing anyway, gonna get the pallet. Oh, and do you feel like that was an opportunity maybe thrown away by Trapper there? It's certainly possible. Steve won't fault. Oy, 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 oy. Okay, coming back, getting some traps reset here because currently the path to basement is not as treacherous as Trapper would like it. Resetting here. Resetting here. Has to be said, what a play from Steve. Incredibly brave. And there is a lot of gem movement here. Oh, Ada's not quite going to be able to commit. Fung doesn't either. And Steve goes back in. Oh, as Ada gets the gem. There's a dying state. Okay. We'll be able to get a kill. What a frustrating situation. It should have been so much better. As they're able to tap the gate as well. No route. They're all over the place. They're pressuring everything imaginable. And the glimmers of hope are being eradicated here for Trapper. Was this even the gate? Might have been the other gate. Deary, deary, deary me. There's the full heal. Very unlikely they'll be healing in basement. They could be. They could be. It's 3 stacks on No Way Out. But that has passed. The gates are now operable. Trap's not been able to set up any kind of traps on the gates. We'll get one here, as there are scratch marks behind. Well, gotta head over to the other gate. Says disarm. Okay, heading back. Just a one light. There's Steve. And there's Funk. Steve, who almost single-handedly has ruined Trapper's game here. As Fung switches up to get the gate moving. Other gate's open. They will not get this one, at least not before a dying state. And remember, it's got to be the 4K. 4K or bust, and the other survivor leaves, so it's all over. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. And the worst thing is, it's the hope that kills you. It is the hope that kills you. Steve is right there for the unhook again. Injury there, away he goes. GG. Hold on. It's fun for some reason. Sticking on the tile. Oh, just waits long enough for the endurance. And we'll get every hook matters in the World Cup. Every hook state matters. And Trapper has just managed to find a way to get an additional 2. Taking his total to 9. Or 10, in fact. 10 it will be. So, still a loss for Trapper, but every little helps. Those hooks could be important down the line. And it is a loss from Trapper. Had a couple of do-overs, couldn't do anything with the opportunity. So Knight, finally, is confirmed as the winner. Trapper suffers his second loss. As we go now to the final Group C matchup, Spirit of Round 3. Spirit versus Jason. Spirit is perfect through 2 games. If they can make it 3, they will join Ghosty in the illustrious perfect through 3 ranks. But Jason will have something to say about that. Jason has been performing pretty admirably. So, Spirit on Toba Landing. Here we go. Game on. Looking for some early intel. Just going to run right down Main Street here, see if she can't find someone on the way. No scratch marks, no gem movement upstairs, no sign of anyone yet. No movement. Aha! A survivor. It's Yunjin. And it's a chase. Can she follow the scratch marks? Can she close this down? Not quite. Just held up on their running. That was enough to counter Spirit, but does have gem movement over here. And there goes Rebecca. And Sprint Burst there. Making a lot of sense. Getting the gem regressed and then taking chase. Sprint Burst not too concerning for Spirit. But the sudden lack of intel, concerning for sure. Totem's gone, Haunted Ground in play. And you feel like Spirit really needs to take advantage of this with how slow the game has been thus far. Scratch marks, but no end result there. It's been a bit of a hallmark of the game so far. Movement here. Sable running to the pallet immediately. It'll be a little bit of a delay before Spirit gets her phase back. Unfortunately, really needs it here in dying moments of Haunted Ground. There it is. Going for it. Oof, good decision from Sable. Spirit not finding a way of closing this down, and before you know it, Haunted Ground will be gone. She needs this dying state. Can she get it? Time ticking down. There's Sable. Haunted Ground. It's not quite going to happen. It's an injury, but nothing more. Tough start. And Jason will be loving what he's seeing here. Already, this is not the start that Spirit would have been hoping for. And really not emblematic of the kind of games that Spirit has been having up to this point. has been far more clinical than this in previous games. Saber gets to another pallet. Doesn't burn it. Could be in trouble here. No. In fact, they don't even burn it there. Faking out the phase, moving around. They're not fooled. Oh, hang on. They were fooled. Wow. Did not anticipate that working there, but it did. Okay, needs a pain res hook. Needs to start getting these gens on side. Big movement here. They're not going to be able to finish it. That is scary how far along it was in spite of pain res. Did pain res hit on a different gen? Quite possibly. Would be surprised if that gen over there pops pretty soon. Okay, good play from Spirit has been got too often by survivors just suddenly stopping their scratch marks. Not on that occasion, on the unsafe side of this tile. Good decision from Kate there. Let's go for the vault. Keeps on running. Big opportunity here. Big opportunity here, and there's a dying state. Okay. And that will be another opportunity for pain res, another opportunity to keep this at a 4-gen game, but no. Gen pops off to the right. I don't think it was that gen that popped with pain res. Is there movement in Shack? There is movement in Shack. Okay. So that's the gen that pain res hits, and that's so scary. There is so much gen progress across the board here. Pallet's gone. Phase is back. Away goes Spirit. Looking for scratch marks here. Doesn't see any. Oh, yes, she does. Oh, but this has plagued her game so far. Just not finding anyone in the open field. As Yunjin. Phase is back. Does she need it for the first hit? Should have gone for it. That just allows them to get the pallet. And that's just unconfident play from Spirit there. Unconfident is what it is, but finally gets the injury. And needs to close this down. Lots of gen progress. Needs pretty much an immediate pain res. Can she get it? Just swinging through. Nice, okay. No hesitation. They scream. Will that keep them off the gen just for long enough for this pain res hook to connect? No. Ugh. And the gen's popping just before pain res is so agonizing. At the very least, this gen should be kept in check for a moment longer with that. God, but they're moving this as well. Gotta get the kick out there. And just taking a little bit too long with every chase is Spirit. The phases have not been doing enough. She is finding repeated success with Kate Denson, though. That has to be said. This has been good for her. Looking to catch up. Go for the pallet. Oh, they get the stun. The truncated scream there for Spirit. Very strange. As Kate Denson flees the scene. Oh, they're anticipating the phase. Oh no, they have a pallet. And they vault immediately. And that was a phase situation all day long. But again, just unconfident with it right now with Spirit. Oh, it was dead hard, but it was too soon. And thank goodness that Spirit didn't hit into that. Because if that chase goes on any longer in a 2-gen game, it might be close to all over. Okay. Another hook there. Hoping to keep the gen on side. There's also big movement up top as well. So pressured in several regards. Getting Sprint Burst out there. Coming back for the kick. And trying to keep the second gen on side as well. Will she be able to? Maybe a grab off the gen could bring her back into this one. No. Team's not giving anything away here. They were gone even before Spirit had come out of phase. Rebecca back on the gen. Are they committing? They're not. They're walking away again. And again, that's enough to counter Spirit. Just nothing happening here. She's lacking intel. She's lacking decisiveness. She's lacking that lethality that she's been showing so much of all tournament long. And if she can't get something going here, she will be dropping her first points of the tournament. Gen movement. As they get away immediately. And this, you don't win a game by doing this. You've got to find someone. You've got to get a hook. You've got to wrest back control of this game. But I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know who the weak link is. I don't know who Spirit is hoping to find here. Maybe Kate Denson again? Gem pops. And there will surely be another very, very soon. Junjin gets the vault. Heads back around. A bit of movement there. Not too much. They've got to be thinking about getting back to the upstairs gen. They do. They get it. Kate Denson is the Rancor survivor. They are exposed. The issue being, of course, they're already death hook, so a dying state on them doesn't do a huge amount unless the team wants to stick around for some altruism, which is probably going to be unlikely. And they're gone anyway. We've seen a lot of situations where the killer has just seemed entirely out of their depth, and you're seeing the same here, as that'll be an injury on Sable. Sable is first hook. This could mean that there's going to be some altruism from the team. We'll see. There's a dying state. Well, any hooks here will just make the job that bit more difficult for Jason, but right now it looks like Jason could sleepwalk his way to a victory. That'll be hook number 5. Heading to the other gate. Gate's open. Kate's gone. Yunjin's gone. Back to the hook goes Spirit. Is Rebecca going to try and make a play here? Likely to go for the gate before the unhook. There's 3 lights. There's the gate open. Rebecca's sticking in the trial. Kate's not going to be going for this save. Yunjin is unlikely to be going for this save. If it's going to happen, it has to happen. Courtesy of Rebecca. Interrupting is great. Rebecca moves away. This is so huge. This is so massive. Phasing early. Oh, Sprint Burst just gets them away. They're going to try for the unhook again. Presumably. There it is. It is a dying state. And this is very important now for Spirit. She can get an additional 3 hooks by getting the hook on Rebecca, and she has to take advantage of that. So in she goes. In she goes. There shouldn't be an angle for a torch save, although I've said that before. They do try. They don't get it. Hook there. First hook for Rebecca. Yunjin heading back. Sable is injured and death hook. Kate is Rancor. If there's going to be anyone going for the save, you'd have to imagine it's Yunjin, right? Surely no one else can make this play. As Sable's healthy again. And you know what? If you get the kill here, that'll be 7 hooks. 7 hooks has been enough for the victory in the past. So if you're Spirit here, maybe you are just happy to rest on your laurels, ask the question of them, see if they've got what it takes to come in for the save. The issue being, the gate is right there. So unless they fumble this attempt, they could still be getting the unhook. There's the heal. They're over by that gate, presumably. Yep, just seeing Kate Denson move in. How do you play this? How do you play this? We need an early injury. As there's Yunjin. That probably opens way for Sable to move in. Kate's left, so it will only be 2 people going for the save here. Obviously, Kate unlikely to make any kind of play. There's Sable, okay. Well, right now, this is far too cagey from the team. Swing and a miss. Okay, gets a second hook. Injury there. Okay, well. Yunjin did not do enough there. Needed to come in either during the whiff or during the injury there. Didn't choose either opportunity, and that should be the 7 hook states. No idea where Yunjin's gone now. Yunjin could just be on the gate. A Sable probably going to leave. And then there was one. And that will be all she wrote. 7 hooks. It's been enough in the past. Will it be enough against Jason? Tough to say. Tough to say. It's 8. Oh, it is 8. Sorry, my mistake. 8 hooks. Even better. Jason, Ironworks Misery. 8 hooks to beat. This will be a fascinating match here. 8 hooks is by no means a given. Jason is a powerful killer. Has done some good work already this tournament, but he'll need to lock in for this one. There are. Footsteps here. Sniper up ahead as well. Oh, not quite going to get that hit. As there's Yui, just not quite the angle there. Opportunity here, though. It's a decent play from them. They faked out the move to the left, sending Jason the wrong way as Omnipresent Evil grabbing a hook spike. Just needs to be moving between these phases really, really quickly and gets the opening dying state. Good work with the spike. Okay, as Alucard looking to do what's plagued so many killers, an early hook denial. Injury should send him away, as there's the DC. Wow. There was someone looking to try and get the save for you. I don't know what more you want from your team. Okay, well. Omnipresent Evil. Is Alucard still hanging around somewhere over here? It's a possibility. Okay, no intel there, no intel. Heading elsewhere. Big gem movement here. Opportunity for Pop goes a Weasel. And no angle with the spike, unfortunately. Certainly going to get the kick. And looking to test the waters around here as they head upstairs. Opportunity here. Ooh, good effort. Good effort. Gotta be taking those shots. Gotta give it a go. Little micro adjustment with flick there. Not quite going to work out for Jason. Trevor runs through. Big opportunity here. Another fine dodge, unfortunately. Having a spike. There's the unhook. Gonna head back, put some pressure on, because that's been a couple of unfortunate misses. You can't do any more than that. Okay, it isn't the unhook. What was the noise? What was the noise then? Something happened. There you go. Anticipating the dodge. Trevor gets hit. Loses a gen, though. Loses a gen, unfortunately. Trevor, where is he? There he is. He's still on tile. Good patience, waiting for the dodge, putting the spike where it needs to go, and getting another important hook here. All right. That's good from Jason, not losing his call. A few misses. The misses can start to accumulate and have a negative effect on the psyche. Not on that occasion, as Alucard in the situation here. Aiming at Alucard is what Jason thought. Maybe just aiming at the cloak. Flicking the torch afterwards. Okay. Tough the Omnipresent Evil. The unhook over here. Big situation here for Jason. Needs to get the bot out of here. Misses, but no matter. Dying state will still happen. Would have been great to have got the Mori there just for speed of play, but no matter. The unhook and the heal means that there's no DS for the bot. The bot is gone. Big opportunity here for Jason. Can he hit the long shot? Oh, not a million miles away there. Grabbing the hook spike. Intel over here. Unfortunately, the gem pops. And it's Nia Coulson. Another good dodge. Yeah. Too many misses here for Jason. The spikes have gone astray far too often. Not sure what happened there, in all sincerity. Gonna get a hook spike. And concerns now about which gen might be moving. A little bit of movement here as someone flees the scene. There's no teleport opportunities nearby. That's a real shame. Really tough area of the map. Here as Jason searches for his next quarry. Let's see anyone. Oh, scratch marks here, Trevor. Pallet connects. No, pallet doesn't connect. The spike connects. Opportunity here. Does Trevor run through? He does. Is that too aggressive? It might be. It is. A little bit greedy. That would be a dying state. Could it be a save on the table here? Didn't anticipate the flashlight save. Anticipated more the pallet save. But Alucard has done what he's been looking to do there. And this is Jason through and through. These haven't felt like awful games, but the teams have found ways to counter him. Trying to be patient there, not patient enough apparently. Alucard gets around. Will it be the Vault? No. It should be enough here. It will be. So finally gets another hook. And this will be an important Pop Goes a Weasel kick. Oh my god, as the gen comes to the rescue. Nia Coulson was waiting in the wings for the blind. But the gen blocking the flashlight, that could be absolutely massive, and they might be done. Wow, they're giving up. They're saying, if I can't get that save, no thank you. Deary, deary me, that is absolutely atrocious, but massive for Jason. Unbelievable, and this will be hook number 6. So victory now, just around the corner. Who gives up in that situation? 2 gens left, Jason on the back foot. You've lost a survivor, but you're doing really great work. But apparently not good enough. Oh, so unfortunate. An accidental teleport there. And has to take the slow jump scare because the person on hook is Alucard looking for a way to get the unhook here. Still has endurance, but for how long? Not long enough. Could it be DS? Very possible DS here. Yeah, there you go. Into the blinds. Pallet stun as well for good measure. There's the unhook. Trevor. Oh, dead hard. Should have seen that coming. And things were looking great for Jason, but fair play to the team with a couple of spirited plays. Pun not intended. They're looking to bring this back. Unbelievable play. Only the Vault dodges that. And they found a way to make it happen. Okay, well, the game's back on in a big way. Looking for a jump scare. We'll find someone. It's Alucard. No pallet burn. Big opportunity here. And the spike connects. Is Nia going to look for another save after having basically given up on the previous play? Maybe they've learnt something about the notion of grit. Here, Trevor and Alucard certainly not giving up. Hook there. Gotta keep these gens on side if you've got any hope. No movement there. Here's the gen. Here's Jason. As it could be dead hard. No. Alright. So, assuming that there's no funny business, assuming the hook goes through, this will be the draw confirmed. 8 hooks apiece. Obviously still so much game left for Jason to rack up the hooks. So it's looking very, very good for Jason. There's the hill right here. Big opportunity. Massive opportunity. Spike through the window. Good play. Didn't give them time to even think about a dodge. And probably looking for a way to get Omnipresent Evil back. Alucard might be looking for the save. Gets it. Another spike here. And seeing where they're going. It's not finding a way through the trees there. Alucard could very easily be in a locker right now. Apparently not. Okay. Well, with the benefit of hindsight, maybe should have just stayed on Trevor there. Trevor, who is presumably moving this gen, makes a lot of sense. Not going to burn the pallet. Should be the M1. Has Trevor got dead hard back? No. No, only been hooked once. Use that one dead hard. Is Alucard going to be here for the save? No. And with that, it will be all 3 points going the way of Jason. Never mind. Not if Alucard has something to say about it. Oh, never mind. Not enough time. There's dead hard. Alucard's out of there. It honestly wouldn't have been far away from an effective body block. Time just on Jason's side. And there is a hook close enough to make this play viable. Whew. Hey, listen, you can't say they didn't fight for it. They really gave it a good go. Jason, in the end, just has too much in the arsenal. A slow teleport there. No sign of Nia Carlson, who might now just be waiting for Hatch, in all sincerity. Certainly looks like that's what they're doing. After giving up, pretty much, earlier in the game, it would feel like a massive injustice if they were to get Hatch now. No such problem. There it goes. No way out, 4 stacks. There they are. Oh, they're not giving up now, are they? No, 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 they're not. Now they're playing. Fascinating. Anyway, brilliant work from Jason. Heading over. No jump scare, no intel. And, yep, Nia has fled the scene. That is a damn shame. Just hoping. Oh, and just spying. The aura here. There was something there, right? There was something there. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on just a flipping second. Hold on just a flipping minute. Hold on just a bloody... Well, no way out's passed, unfortunately. There they are. Injury there. Going for the blind. They don't get it. Away they go. Back over yonder. Nowhere near the gate. Shouldn't have a key. And that will be all she wrote. GG. So Jason gets his second win, takes a total to 29 hooks. Spirit suffers her first loss with her first dropped points of the campaign. Look at Group C as we sort the table here. Spirit, Knight, Jason, and Dredge all on 6 points. Spirit has top spot based on superior hook differential, 32 hooks to her name. Knight in second, Jason in third, Dredge in fourth. Trapper in fifth with 3 points, and then Slinger, the outlier, the anomalous killer here. No points, 16 hooks, all but eliminated. And if you did a deep dive on the maps of the remaining games, you could probably say that Slinger is mathematically eliminated. I've not got the time to look into that right now. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. In all realms of possibility, Slinger is done.